Happy birthday, happy anniversary, those celebrating. And of course, if there's death in the family, like we heard on the weekend, one member of staff at Jolly's Pharmacy passed on. She was only 43 years old. Again to the family and staff members at Jolly's, our deepest sympathy. To all those of you who may have lost a loved one too on the weekend, our deepest sympathies. It's a greetings line. Good morning and happy birthday greetings to my special nephew, Lunari Boyd in Canada. He's celebrating his birthday today, 26th of May. Wishing him a very happy birthday and lots more to come. These greetings coming from his Aunt Charmaine Noel, his dad Presley Boyd Jr., brother Chauncey Boyd, and all the rest of the home circle. Enjoy your day to the fullest and may God continue to guide your paths as you journey in life. God bless you abundantly. We all love you very much. Lunari Boyd in Canada this morning. Good morning to you. I'm sending birthday greetings to my son Pikion from his mother Joanne, brother, sister, and the rest of the family in Point Michon. Good morning to Pikion this morning. Happy birthday from your mom, your brothers, sisters, and the rest of the family. Have a great day today. On the telephone, good morning to you, yes? Hello? Hello, yes?
Yes, morning to you.
Morning to you.
How are you doing?
I'm trying my best.
Oh, you're trying. Okay.
Okay.
I would like to send belated birthday greeting to a queen, May Isaac or Grande, turned 92 yesterday. And also belated birthday greeting to a special police officer, Javid Prince of Immigration Department, who was yesterday likewise.
Okay.
Enjoy to the fullest and continue for the week to enjoy the rest. Coming from his father, John Baptist Prince, his mom, Maureen, his special aunt, Josephine Prince Blanchard and family. Jemima Lawrence, Linda Daisy, Jerry Maxwell, and all the people, all of them, frankly wishing him all the best. Enjoy the day today, cut the cake today.
Okay. Blessed day. Thank you. On the telephone, yes, good morning to you.
Mato, good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, Mabel. How are you doing?
I am good, thanks.
Okay.
On behalf of the Montpellier Women Farmers in Action, I'm extending belated birthday greetings to our PRO, Priscilla Jajak. Her birthday was yesterday. And there is a young lady who is listening to you. Me send birthday greetings for her today. Courtney Timothy. Her birthday is today. Greetings from her mother, maybe Deja and the entire family. I'm also extending birthday greetings to the same Ronald Charles. Today is his birthday. And Norris Charles also. Also belated birthday greetings to Nestor Deja. Griffin Deja, that was one of the survivors of the Montfort accident. He spoke to you one of these days. I just got he had a good birthday. It looks like a lot of people born in May, March.
A lot of people.
Advance birthday greetings to those to come.
Okay.
Have a blessed day, man.
Have a great day yourself. Have a great day.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, more telephone calls coming in here. Again, the numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, and of course 616-4257. Are you there? Yes?
Yes, good morning to you, Matt, and good morning to your listeners.
Morning, my brother. Morning to you.
Yes, I want to say happy birthday to... You there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say happy birthday to Alexander Taylor of Kinfield. We pray God's blessing for good health, long life, peace, joy, and harmony. I do not know his age, but I know he is old enough to make good decisions. And those greetings are coming from his loving grandmother, Jacqueline Fedor, the entire Fedor family, and his good friend, Michael Coppel. And I want to say happy birthday to the same Ronald Charles and all those who are celebrating birthday. We say happy birthday to you, all those who have excelled in life. We say congratulations, all those who are starting and mourning at this point in time. We express our condolences to you and all those who continue to be the voice for the Commonwealth of Dominica. Take a bow, Matt. Thank you so very much. Do have yourself a blessed and productive day. And Dominicans, wherever you are, I love you. God bless.
All right. Good morning to you, Copal. Good morning. It's 8:05 in the morning. I felt that I needed to do something inspirational this morning. See what the Lord has done. Good morning. You woke up this morning breathing fresh air. Let's thank Him. See what the Lord has done. You're one of the lucky ones this morning. What we wait for has come to pass. What the Lord has done. When you're waiting to hear people sing that, can you see what the Lord has done? When you walk into that property, can you see what? Good morning to you, Hazeland, down there in Belfast, Lower Belfast. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord. Sing with me this morning. Sing with me. See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. Sing it to somebody else. Somebody just reminded me that today would have been the birthday of Felix Niniput Henderson. I'm sure we all miss him. Niniput, Felix Henderson. My ears have heard. Sing what the Lord has done. It's a holiday there in North America, the USA. Those of you at home enjoying that holiday, happy holidays to you. It's Good morning to you, Octavia. Thank you. Are you checking me out on Facebook? You're not easy. See what the Lord has done. Started another week, huh? Hello, are you there?
Good morning, good morning. Mato, I want to wish Bonnie Ryan good luck at court today. Mato, today Bonnie Ryan is going to court on behalf of Dominican. Matt, I want to wish Bonnie Ryan good luck. Tell him I have him in my prayer. I have him in my prayer that everything will be okay with him in court today. Bonnie Ryan, my boy, stay safe. You are blessed, boy. Everything going to work out for you in Jesus' name. Matt, take care. Bye. Bonnie love you. Matt love you. Bye.
Good morning, Dominica.
Right on cue, right on cue, right on cue, right on cue.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
The Quartz 5-day sale is here from May 26th to May 30th. Get ready to save big across all stores. Lounge and dining, 20% off cash purchases and 30% off credit purchases. For the bedroom, buy 2, get 1 free, excluding Ashley products. Hurry in, deals like this won't last. Shop now, only at Quartz. Terms and conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home. Exciting news from AutoTrade. Incredible savings are here. Take advantage of AutoTrade's Thrifty Thursday promotion. Mark your calendars. On the last Thursday of each month, AutoTrade is offering up to 20% off items throughout the store. Yes, 20% off. But wait, here's more. Keep your eyes peeled for our exclusive Deal of the Day offer, bringing you even bigger discounts on select items. Whether you're looking for car accessories, maintenance essentials, or just browsing for a great deal, we've got you covered. So be sure to swing by AutoTrade every last Thursday. At AutoTrade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship. Terms and conditions apply. From the press to the brain, you don't want to see. You need a love you want to stay. You want from a visitor today. Hey, with a commitment to quality. Therefore you and me was one the family, but now with the community. Making life easy, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage with rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs. Open an MRA. Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product. We will finance your business. Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more. You all the way. Your community financial partner. NCTU.
I see Golo in shopping for farming supplies, so I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, Gus, how tell sort. I've been married 37 years, look at my money farm. They say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Drink and win with Distinction Milk. Purchase 2 large cans or 4 small cans of Distinction Milk and you get a chance to take home a Ninja Blender, $500 cash, or $500 shopping voucher from any local store you like. Just write your name and telephone number on your receipt and drop it into the box at your store or WhatsApp a photo of your receipt to 317-4130. That number again, 317-4130. It's that easy. Distinction Milk, 100% cow's milk. Better quality, better taste. Hurry, promotion ends soon. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Mommy, why can't dogs talk? Why do I have to go to school and you don't? Why do you sing in the morning when you're bad at it? Why don't you brush your teeth when you take me to school? Why doesn't it ever snow here? Why does Daddy take the bus to work? Why are trees so tall? Why don't you tell me where babies come from? Mommy, Mommy, Mommy!
We're like a kid that doesn't ask a million questions before noon. CG United. Good like that.
It's another massive Dominica dance for arts and craft fourth annual expo, exploding into robust mushroom clouds of highly creative artists, international excellence and national prize. 767 Stuyvesant Avenue, Irvington, New Jersey. Saturday, June 7th. Culture, music, arts, generous, delicious foods, literature and heritage. A celebration of amplified legendary entertainment. Don't miss this super star-studded lineup. Jolly, Impulse Band, Houston Association Dancers, the Courting Champion, Michael, Saxman Wilworth Robin, 767 Jig Ping, 767 PC, the indomitable DJ Polo. All in one day, one place, one big event in one big West Indian arena. Saturday, June 7th. Don't miss the 4th annual Dominica Diaspora Arts and Craft Expo. Gold sponsors M&J Development Services, 973-851-6638. Olive Trees Synergies LLC, Getaway Holistics, 917-283-7892. For wellness and well-being transformation. Widen's Smoke Meat, 845-232-6202 or 380-2798. And Marcelin Edwards, 862-248-9758. For
that
more.
email seems suspicious and that SMS could be vicious. That phone call or voice notes too serious. Too good to be true, probably fictitious. Don't be fooled by online imposters. Promise things that are gonna cost ya. Be aware, protect your data and money. Stay aware, stay alert, secure.
You can outsmart the scammers. A message from Republic Bank. Report any suspicious activity to customer care at rfhl.com.
Soft weave bathroom tissue, napkins, and paper towels are the perfect choice for your home. Manufactured with virgin fibers, it's the quality that you and your family deserve. New Soft Weave Total Hygiene bathroom tissue is produced at high temperatures to remove microorganisms. It's pH controlled to protect your skin and produced with UV light disinfection to eliminate bacteria and viruses, providing maximum protection. Soft Weave, distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and sold island-wide. Soft Weave, quality, affordability, manufactured with you in mind.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Ceramic paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
On May 24th, step into a stronger future at the Dominica Resilient Housing Fair from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Promenade in Rosa. Discover cutting-edge building solutions, connect with industry professionals, and learn how to strengthen and upgrade your homes. Improving resilience. Don't miss the launch of a homeowner's manual crafted to guide homeowners to retrofit their homes safely and sustainably. And look out for the upcoming technical supervision and inspection manuals. Enjoy live performances, interactive exhibits, networking opportunities, and kid-friendly fun. And the best part, it's all free. Join us. Build smarter, live stronger. This project is a collaborative effort of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and Build Change with the support from Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure and the Green Climate Fund.
Ooh, oh, KFC. Ooh, oh, KFC. Looking for some place to go. Meals for soul. The original KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the place to be. Made for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
The Quartz 5-day sale is here from May 26th to May 30th. Get ready to save big across all stores. Lounge and dining, 20% off cash purchases and 30% off credit purchases. For the bedroom, buy 2, get 1 free, excluding Ashley products. Hurry in, deals like this won't last. Shop now, only at Quartz. Terms and conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
If you know your favorite store, dial it now. 612-1253. That's Mega. You can rely on Mega for some real deals on name brand clothing and electronics. High quality, low price. We are a wholesale and retail store located in Calabishi, right on the main road. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Mega Deals Dominica. Like our page. Check out our stuff. Call us. Visit us. Would appreciate that. Come try it on. Love it. At Mega Deals, your one and only online and brick and mortar store. Mega Deals is also on wheels. We make it convenient for your shopping. We deliver straight to your door. Email us at info@megadealsda.com. Rely on Mega Deals for some real deals.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
All right, Dominica, good morning to you. Welcome again to The Hot Seat. Dominica's most talked about talk show. I'm hearing the word coalition and unity, people coming together. For many days. And last evening or over the weekend, there was a subtle call. And it appears that the Prime Minister is making the rounds. Prime Minister and his team was making the rounds on the weekend, bar hopping. Because I guess they're trying to gather and, of course, invite persons to the big rally there coming June 1st with the Prime Minister of Barbados. I just heard from a young man this morning from the Grand Fort area that there's a feast planned for Grand Fort feast next week. And the intention that the PM went to Grand Fort yesterday I'm not saying it's true, but it's to try to convince labor rights from Grand Fort to ignore their feast and celebrate with him to welcome the Prime Minister of Barbados. Also, what I found interesting is this statement, his closing statement yesterday, had everybody questioning, what is this about? What is this about? An invitation to the leader of the United Workers' Party. Welcome to the mansions.
The people of Grand Fort, and I want to recognize Dr. Thompson Fontaine and to say to him and to say to him that in Labour House there are many mansions.
Already, persons already reacting. In Labour House, there are many mansions, huh? We're talking unity, and there's been a lot of conversations as to the opposition parties coming together. And I put that question to the caretaker of the Roseau constituency, Mr. So Glenroy Coffey, who was invited, I have invited you. Join me in the conversation sometime, maybe later today or tomorrow. But that's the answer he gave last week when I spoke to him. About his party, meaning the United Workers' Party, a former member back in the fold. Let's listen to that conversation. They're very interesting. And he reviewed actually the performance of the Roseau MP. There was a lot of talk on radio yesterday, the other side, that they disagreed with Glenroy Soso Coffey when he spoke about the performance of the Roseau MP. Let's listen to that conversation there for a little while.
Joshua when he was in the United Workers' Party, and to be honest, I see a man who is full of energy, and he continues to do what he has to do. In fact, I still believe he still has a lot of political capital in him that one can use to elevate himself politically. And the humanitarian side of Joshua, as I always say, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I've always admired this because he's a person who cares for people. But he said something very important earlier in the discussion about imposing oneself on persons. And for the past election cycles, we have noticed that the Labour Party has imposed itself on Dominicans. Dominicans really do not want the Labour Party, but they have found a way to impose themselves on the people of Dominica. Case in point, you know that the Labour Party has been rejected by the people of Dominica, and they have resorted in bringing Dominicans from overseas to fill up the gaps, to give them win where they know they are not sufficiently strong. By and large, I will tell you straight, and Josh is correct, you do not have to have rocket science or even data to actually come to the conclusion that Dominica is in a mess. In fact, I was at the credit union earlier today, and I picked up a book, and when I look at some of what is written there in terms of the delinquency rates, you see that a lot of persons are unable to pay their loans, and the delinquency rates continue to increase in terms of numbers. So it tells you that's a bad sign, that the financial indicator here tells you in that report that there are a number of persons who cannot meet their monthly commitments, more so their mortgages. And so we're in a serious situation. And so I believe I want to join the chorus to say that we must do more. We must create that unity and to win hearts. And I'm happy that we have Dr. Fontaine at the helm of the United Workers' Party, a man who I see has a vision, a man who I see interacts and brings people together. And in fact, just as I was walking, a guy stopped me and he said, look, I hope you all are not trying to get rid of Dr. Fontaine, because I'm telling you, it's because of him I'm still in politics. He's fed up with labor, but he feels that hearing Dr. Fontaine is about the people's plight, and he thinks he wants to work with Dr. Fontaine. But he also reminded me that we must also take up the mantle of uniting all those that want to come on board, and let's work with them and move Dominica forward. To win this government, we have to unite. Failure to do so in the opposition, we are going anywhere. Take that to the bank, we are going anywhere. So
I just want to ask you a question then. Is it Joshua Francis you would welcome in your team? Yes? As a force, a coalition force.
Let me tell you something. I just told you what is part of the strategy. If Josh feels he wants to unite with the United Workers' Party and let's move forward in unity, that is the way to go. If Boss and all our persons, all about and all our interested Dominicans feel they want to unite with the United Workers' Party, we go forward with a strategy and let's do it together. Collectively we will win. But that's how people do it, you know. One farmer cannot sustain a market, you know. You have to have a number of farmers with a targeted production, a targeted acreage, so that you can sustain volumes. Failure to sustain the volumes, you lose the market. So I'm saying we have no time for further division. We have time for unity. We have time for coming together. We have time for one agenda, and we have time to govern this country, to bring some restoration to the people who have been suffering, and to bring a better quality of life for Dominicans. That's what, if you look at all of the records all over, You want for sponsor from the private sector, they will tell you straight they are unable to give because they're not making. Not their fault. It's not their fault. The economy is properly whittled, and we know that. It's down to the bone. And it's not people's fault that they cannot contribute. Their corporate contributions have dropped. And so unity is it. So yes, Joshua has been part of us. And if Joshua feels independently wants to come, I don't see why we cannot welcome Joshua or any other, in fact, too, any other person. I'm not about this one and that one or this one, you know. Even though my politics over the years, I've tried my best to bring people together. I'm one man. I don't walk across people. I don't pass people straight. I don't choose who I speak to or who I communicate with. No, that's not the answer to politics. We are going for a fight, and we have to win that fight. We have to collectively come together and win the fight over everything. Put our differences aside and let's go forward.
Let me ask you a question. So my final question: What do you think about your performance of your MP in Roseau Central?
Well, you know, Matt, I would like one day that you'll invite me so that I can actually give you a synopsis of what is transpiring in Roseau. In fact, we have seen so many things and heard so many things that have been happening, and yet nothing's happened. In fact, I was reading a report some time ago, and since 2019, you talk about a better Roseau, and Great George Street would have been one of the envy streets in Dominica, particularly in Roseau. And up to now, we have seen nothing. I mean, I will not now tell you, I'll not take up the time to try to dissect everything. But I can tell you, the paragraph of Roseau is not a performer. She has not performed. She's yet to bring a plan and bring... In fact, by the way, 20 years of Labour Party, we should not be talking about a plan for Roseau. And we should be actually talking about the performance. You know, if the work was put into high gear and the work was done and the paragraph had performed, right now I'll be telling you what I see the paragraph has done. But because nothing has been done really, you cannot now point your finger and say that has been done. And by the way, I'm not saying the areas have been improved, but the general consensus, and if you take it, we will point to the fact that Roseau is still in a bad state and maybe even a worse situation than it was before. But I will tell you straight, you can only get a transformed Roseau, a deep, systematic transformation of Roseau when the United Workers' Party will take the reins of government. You know, and that's what I can assure you. But as we speak, the paragraph has nothing to show, and all we know now is party. If the Labour Party was engaging young people into skills training and to ensure that persons were well equipped with the necessary skill set to get them geared to actually transform this economy, it would be a better deal than to having party. In fact, I can tell you, one of the greatest successes of Labour is about partying. Let us go and soca rumba, wine and drink rum, and that is what they can see that has been their biggest achievement. So, Mark, there's nothing to shout about, but one day I hope that you can invite me to tell you exactly, or to tell you what, in fact, Roseau is required of, and what can actually transform Roseau into the great Roseau that we all look forward to see. But as we speak now, there's nothing to show right now, and the paragraph should be ashamed after 20 years of Labour Party. And even she coming in, not too early, but has about 2 terms, I think. She's about 6 years now.
Right. I heard that this morning talking about housing developments around the country.
Man, let me tell you something. The history where I live right now is part of a housing scheme, you know. The Freedom Party made houses, and I took a 20 by 20 house and transformed it to a 30 by 40 up and down. Uh-huh. So the point is, and many other persons have done that too. So it's not the first time we have seen, housing schemes. UWB have a housing scheme not too far away from me, from where I live. All successive governments have had the chance to actually put housing schemes. The difference though was that we paid for our own. And we were able to expand. They gave us a core house and we were able to put it to the comfort that we wish to live. What we have seen now is that the Labour Party is strangling people, giving them houses, apartments, and not giving them titles. And whenever they call a rally, all the young people just knocking the door and saying, you know what yet? You have to leave your half-cooked rice on the stove and get in Lago immediately. Or else if you are not seen, the house is threatened to be taken from you. That's not how you develop a country. You must empower people. You must make people use their assets to empower their children, to do well for themselves, to empower themselves, and to transform their lives. Don't control people. And that's what they do. Impose themselves on people so that they can eternally control them. So there's nothing to shout about the housing scheme. I mean, Roseau people have been the biggest recipients of houses outside of Roseau. In fact, we have over 3,000 voters in Roseau, and almost half of that doesn't live in Roseau. or even more. So, the records have shown that a lot of housing development has taken place with previous governments. The difference with that right now is that this government is playing a finish game, but it's just to control. My recommendation at the time was that you could give people houses free on a merit basis. You do what they call a needs assessment. If you have the elderly and so forth cannot afford to have a job, then of course it's okay. When you pass by the apartments, the kind of vehicles you see and people who can afford, I'm not saying that they could meet all the expenses, but at least you say, look, put something down and you have a revolving fund. So as the government collecting money from what they contribute, what they will do is to match it up and expand the housing development. That's what you do. That's how you develop a country. And not just talking about give somebody a house. No. We are used to that. I just give an example of how we have developed ourselves. Every house that was 20 feet by 20 feet in Paradise Valley. Come and look at the development, people's development. So if at all it was a 2 million investment, now it's right now a 40 million development. How it happened? People's development, people's power, people's empowerment. That's what we do.
All right, Dominica, we're here. We're going to take a few phone calls because we have a step coming up with Do It Center coming up. We're going to take a few calls. Do you agree or disagree with the statements there by Glenroy Soso Coffee that the Pal Rep in Roseau is a failure? And what we're going to do for the next couple of days, we're going to look at every constituency and find out whether you are satisfied with the work on the ground by your Pal Rep, huh? Look at every constituency. 21 constituency? Or 21 constituencies? All right, 449-3095-96 and 97. Well, some people don't agree. My friend Peter Prosper was on the radio yesterday disagreeing vehemently with my friend Glenroy Soso Coffee. Hello, talk to him on the telephone, yes? Uh-huh.
Good morning, Mr. Pelte.
Morning to you, quick. Mm-hmm.
I had my devotion this morning. I was on the radio the other pastor. But I am finding that now in Dominica, people must not deceive people, because the Bible says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. What a man soweth that he reaped. And anybody that exalts themselves above the name of Jesus and the word of Jesus, the nature of Jesus, God will bring you down. If somebody want to get something, be wise, seek God, or maybe ask, do what you have to do for it to get, but don't use the word of God, because I see in John 14, say, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and people don't use the word of God as a peddler to get to people. Yes, and so if we started to do those things there, I am seeing that we will go down to the bottom in Dominica. Think what you want to think, how you want to think, say what you want to say, but don't use the word of God as a peddler to get to people.
Yes, a few people have actually texted me to say, why is the Prime Minister using the word of God in terms of many mansions? They actually said, well, maybe, the bishop will speak about, or the other pastors should speak out about that. Hello, talk to me, yes? Good morning. That's for them. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Morning, Matt.
Morning to you.
How are you?
I'm trying.
Well, Matt, many are called, but not everyone that agrees. So Thompson is not agreed him, and he will not come in the mansion.
Okay, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. Again, we have a stop coming up with our friends from, of course, Do It Center. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk. We have a lot of time to talk. So stick around, Dominica. Stick around. Yes. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I know we have a lot to talk about this morning. Let's focus on our friends there from Do It Center for a few minutes. Okay, stick around. Stick around.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Durant paint and wall covering from Do It Best quality paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Big news, Dominica! Do It Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Do It Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Durant paint and wall covering from Do It Best quality paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too. Lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies.
Visit Do It Center at the former Jane Asset Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890.
Do it Center.
Let's say good morning. So, our guest from Do It Center this morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Matt. I'm fine this morning.
Okay.
And how are you?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing okay?
For now. You seem a little busy this morning. What's going on at Do It Center?
Doing Center right now, we started our Call of the Month campaign.
Call of the Month.
Call of the Month.
Okay.
So right now, we're encouraging our patrons to go on our social media page and participate in the promotions that we have going on, because we do a draw, and any customer or anyone who participates in what's going on our social media page get a chance to win something.
Okay.
So last month, the color was Magical.
Mm.
And this month, the color is Calypso. I know, right?
Okay.
Again, a few patrons maybe saw some of our staff walking the streets with Mr. Kavem Hodge. We started a series which is called Color in the Streets.
Okay.
So we ask customers questions and they get a chance to win a gallon of paint.
Okay.
So you can guess the color of paint, and if you guess the color correctly, you get that gallon of paint.
All right. So how many colors will the range is what? Many colors?
Many colors.
Okay.
However, we have 2 different gallons walking around with, and you guess that.
Oh, you guess.
You
But
guess that color.
it's not on the
No.
on the can itself.
No, it's not. However, when you do win your gallon, you can choose whatever color it is. So you can come down
Interesting.
with your voucher, and then you choose whatever gallon of paint.
So how far do you go in terms of
We went Portsmouth 2 weeks ago.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you have some winners there?
yes, we have.
Okay.
We had a few winners. We went to the state college as well.
Do you show them a list of the colors that they have to
Nope,
guess?
They
No?
just have to guess the color. I mean, we won't give them choice like Calypso and Magical.
Okay.
Because
I was wondering what are these colors about?
majority of people will tell you black, white, this type of colors. But
Okay.
we wouldn't make it so tricky and tell you Magical and Calypso.
Oh, okay. I was just
However, we would ask a question like, what is the color of the month? That is why we tell patrons to participate in whatever we have going on.
Okay.
In addition to that, we have a 40% off our Valspar True Base. So it's a self-priming paint, and it's 40% off. However, it's only available at our Dude Express branch.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, we have a few new products in stock. Everybody has been coming for their windows and complaining that they want windows. We got a new selection of windows. And then we restocked on windows that we had previously from 24 by 24 to 48 by 48. And then we got bathroom shelves available. We also got this new outdoor kitchen set. Yeah, it comes with a sink and everything.
Wow.
So just put it out on your deck or wherever that you want it.
Interesting.
Yes. And then we have this new rotating food storage container. So there's 5 separate areas, and then you can put cereal, rice, whatever it is, and it's dispenses itself.
Okay.
So that's for like people or like those who have children at home who actually just keep pouring cereal. You can actually measure the amount of cereal
I
that
know.
you use.
You allow them to just they'll pour the whole box in there.
Exactly. And then Sunday in Dominica is usually beach day for everybody. So we have a wide range of coolers available. And then we got some cooler bags now in stock
Okay.
for as low as $94. And then we have our family paint nights. So we actually have canvases and paints available. So we don't have to wait for a sip and paint to come up to actually attend a sip and paint. You can host your own sip and paint at your home with your family.
Okay. All right, let's take a break. We'll come right back, okay? We have a lot more to talk about. Stick around.
Paints from Do It Center to rock paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Big news, Dominica! Do It Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Do It Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center to rock paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too, lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies.
Visit Do It Center at the former J. Nassif Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Center.
Now back to you.
So we always ask our customers right now, are you prepared this hurricane season? Or how prepared are you this coming hurricane season?
We're a few days away, huh? A few days away.
Exactly that.
June
So
1st.
we encourage our customers to stock up on all essentials for the hurricane season.
Mhm.
And of course, at Do It Center, we have exactly what you need.
Okay.
From storage bins to protect your important documents, prevent pests and insects, as well as mold and water.
Mhm.
We have these large storage bins that you can store everything that you need. And then we have generators.
Okay.
And those already have generators. We encourage you to actually make sure your generators are well serviced.
Service. Okay.
Yes. So we have spark plugs, oils, filters, fuel containers, all this and more for this hurricane season. In addition to that, we have raincoats, rain boots, solar lamps, lights, and water tanks.
Mhm.
So whatever you need this season, you come down to Do It Center.
All you need for the hurricane season.
All what you need this hurricane season, except for food. But everything else, we have that.
Mhm. Well, you have the container to put the food, that's for sure.
We have a ticket to give away. Well, we have 2 tickets to give away. So the first question for that would be, I mentioned, if you were listening earlier, I mentioned our Call of the Month campaign. So the question would be, what was the color of the month for last month and this month?
So if you were listening, you would have heard, huh?
Yes.
Ask the question again.
What was the color for this month and last month?
All right, interesting. Did you pay attention? You get a ticket to the May Fest, huh?
Yes.
And again, please don't text my cell phone. People have a habit of texting my cell phone. The answers can be given to on 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. Young lady just asked the question again, and so they can call the on-air numbers, which are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-4257. I think we have a call on the line there. Let's find out. Hello, talk to me on the telephone.
Yeah, but this month is Calypso.
This month is Calypso, and last month
Yeah.
was what?
That's the color for this month.
No. See, she asked you one. You have to give two answers. One for this month and the other for last month.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you have to call back. 449-3095, 96 and 97. Let's see if we can get a caller there with the correct answer. Are you there, caller?
Hello, good day.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm listening. I'm listening attentively.
You were listening attentively, so you have the answer.
Yes.
Okay. Well, tell us the callers. We're here.
The color for last month was magical, and the color for this month is carnival.
Carnival. All right. You're a carnival lover?
No. I'm not ready. I've never been to carnival.
Well, I'm telling you.
But I like the vibrant colors. That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong, Ultra. Carnival? No carnival. One answer is correct. One answer is correct. So you're gonna try again, okay? One answer is correct. And I'm not gonna guide you. I'm not gonna give you the answer for sure. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes,
Yes, good morning, Matt.
Morning,
Last
see-
month was magical.
Oh, hold on. Take your time. I don't want you to get the wrong answer. Okay, so last month was what?
Magical.
Last month was magical, and what this month is?
Calypso.
Huh?
Calypso.
Calypso? Oh. That's not the answer, right, young lady?
It's magical and calypso.
Magical and Calypso. Okay. You there, Mabel?
Yes, I did.
All right, Mabel. So you can you want me to give them their number or you
Yes, give her my number.
give her give her your number.
Yes,
She said magical and Calypso. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What's the number?
I'll give you the number. We have the answer for the first question. We have another question.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
So our next question gonna be, what is the name of our host for our Caller in the Street series?
That's a very, she gave the answer earlier. If you're listening, she gave the answer. You guys are giving ABC questions. All right, so let's take another phone call. Are you there, yes?
Yes, I am there.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yes, I made a mistake the first time.
Okay. All right. So correct yourself now.
The color for last month was
We answered that question already. Somebody answered the question. I'm asking you the second question. I'm going to give you a second chance. Ask me the question again, young lady, from Do It Center.
So the question was, who is the host of our Caller in the Street series?
You hear that?
yes, Kabem Hodge.
Oh, she's persistent there, boy. What's your number?
445-7075.
Take your time, take your time, take your time. We only writing. Hello, give me the number again. Yes, go ahead. 445 615. Sorry. 615-7075. That's the number?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, all right. They'll give you a call, all right? Thank you. Thank you for participating, okay? Take care now. Take care. What's your name? She's gone. Yes, all right. And I'm sure the Do It Center will call you and you'll get your gifts.
Yes.
All right. Let's continue.
So during the month of November, we usually host our ladies' night, and the men has been complaining. What are we doing for men? What are we doing for men?
It's Father's Day coming up, huh?
Father's Day is coming up, and we are doing our first men's event called Nailed It.
Nail it?
Nailed It, yes.
Okay.
So registration will be open this week. However, space is limited, as usual. So there's going to be specials on tools. There's going to be sampling. It's going to be an afternoon dedicated for men.
Okay.
So we encourage everybody, as soon as the link goes out, go register. Because without that registration, you're not guaranteed to be an invitee.
So what happens at that event?
You need to attend for you to know what's happening.
Really?
We never, just like Ladies' Night, we never disclose what goes on at Ladies' Night. However, ladies look forward to Ladies' Night every November.
So you think men should look forward to
Men should look, because they've been asking.
Okay.
They've been asking, when are we doing something for the men, for the men, for the men? So we finally decided to do Nailed It.
Okay, Nail It. Huh?
Yes.
That's interesting. Nail It.
Yes.
All right. So tell me, before we wrap up there, what else do you want to share with us this morning?
Well, other than that, we just want to encourage everybody. We see everybody going to the gym right now, and we're pushing our Everlast products. We also have hiking gear for those participating in Hike Fest 2025. We have this new hydration station at both locations, at Express as well as our main store, where you can get your tumblers, your flask, and everything you need for adults as well as children.
Okay.
But other than that, we have everything you need at Do It Center.
All right. So come back soon.
Yes, we will.
How soon you'll be back?
When would you like us to come back? It's up to you.
Whenever you want to.
Okay.
You're welcome. Okay?
No problem.
Have a great day.
No problem.
All right. Take care now, Harold. Bye-bye.
To run paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Big news, Dominica! Do It Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Do It Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. To run paint and wall covering from Do It Best Quality Paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
Hardware and home improvement, building supplies for you, kitchen appliances, even home decor too. Lumber, lawn, all your garden supplies, plumbing, welding, electrical supplies.
Visit Do It Center at the former Jane Asset Hardware location on Goodwill Road. Call us at 255-6890. Center.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy Drink, and of course the Sunblast Juices, Topper Snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill Juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Dominica Q95 Radio is opened for your business in collaboration with the National Development Foundation of Dominica. Get ready to join Q95 Radio and NDFD for Nature Island Small Business Buzz, a live radio program bringing in empowerment to small business ideas and entrepreneurs across Dominica every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m., offering a unique national platform for small, medium, and growing business enterprises in Dominica. Together, we'll aspire to connect, advertise, learn, collaborate, and witness small business entrepreneurs thrive and succeed in the fertile broadcasting soil of Q95, along with the NDFD. Join us on our journey every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. One unbroken, exciting hour of free Q95 Radio small business promotion. As together we explore all the challenges, the setbacks, the setups, the comebacks, stories, the history, the startups, the breakthroughs, the financing, the sweat, the toil, the sleepless nights, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, the business plan, the overall success in pursuing your small business dream come true in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Join veteran broadcaster Franklin Peter Moses and Mr. Donald Bocasio, highly skilled, qualified, sought-after business and entrepreneurial manager, small business development expert, and strategic business coach. Together, we're taking you and your small business to the pinnacle of success in the Dominican economic landscape. So don't miss Nature Island Small Business Buzz every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on Q95 Radio, the big station. Dominica Dance for Arts and Crafts Fourth Annual Expo, exploding into robust mushroom clouds of highly creative artists, international excellence, and national pride. 767 Stuyvesant Avenue, Irvington, New Jersey. Saturday, June 7th. Culture, music, arts, generous, delicious foods, literature, and heritage. A celebration of amplified legendary entertainment. Don't miss this superstar-studded lineup. Jolly, Impulse Band, Houston Association Dancers, Courtin Champion, Mikhail, Saxman Wilworth Robin, 767 Jinping, 767 Cuisine, the indomitable DJ Polo. All in one day, one place, one big event in one big West Indian arena. Saturday, June 7th. Don't miss the 4th Annual Dominica Diaspora Arts and Craft Expo. Gold sponsors M&J Development Services, 973-851-6638. Olive Tree Synergies LLC, Getaway Holistics, 917-283-7892. For wellness and well-being transformation, Women's Smoke Meat, 845-232-6202 or 380-2798. And Marcelin Edwards, 862-248-9758 for more clarity and information.
All right, let's go to a few voice notes this morning. Few voice notes.
Let me tell you, Matt. Honestly speaking, Matt,
Mm-hmm.
Labour Party housing solution, if I should call it, is the worst housing solution in the history of the Caribbean and in the world. Let me tell you why, Matt. Matt, all what Scary do with passport sales or whatever money he get and say he using to build a house for people that do not have a home, he did not give them an opportunity so that they can have growth. Matt, I told you that many times already. Matt, that is the only prime minister in the history of our politics that build some kind of houses and put everybody in one. We're there. In case a family member is having a baby or their family is growing, that there's no way for expansion. And that is to cripple the economy, people. And we all know that. Look at Labour time. The housing scheme, Canefield, Point Michelle, all them places under Patrick John. They were flat, but they were yard. people expand. They did stuff so their children can have an opportunity to have a place to rest their head. Okay, Matt? Freedom came. Freedom did the same thing. Put things on pillars where if your children growing and they're making baby, you can say, okay, go downstairs, do something for yourself while I stay upstairs. Workers come, they did the same thing. And if you look at all the houses, Matt, under all those governments prior to excuse me, prior to Skerrit, look at all the houses, everything people have improved. They work, they did what they do, give their daughter or their son an opportunity to have something. Skerrit knows that, but he came and he put everything in one where you cannot expand. So I don't know why Dominicans being foolish and not seeing the reality and seeing the pretty picture. And the houses and them are not even well done. Okay, and if you're talking about $400,000 an apartment and all them kind of stuff, bro, them houses workers and them Bill and Freedom Bill and Patrick John Bill never reach that kind of bracket, and they better, they bigger, you have more land, more space to do stuff. When is my people gonna come to reality? Matt, I told you that many times. If all the apartments Skerrit give these people, they know they don't even have a title. Other than that, there's no way for expansion and growth when the children growing. And there's no employment for them. So you don't see it's a calaboose or kind of a thing that's gonna happen there, Matt. Matt, I have to tell it to you, Matt. Matt, you know, Matt, say it as it is on the radio for me now, please, Matt. The apartments Skerrit bill there and putting everybody in one hole. Gonna be a calaboose, if that is a word. Love you, bro.
A few more voice notes there before we continue taking phone calls.
Matt, good morning to you and good morning to Dominicans. I hope you guys are doing well and starting your week on a positive note. Matt, I'm listening. I just heard so. And, he's speaking of strategy, the United Workers' Party, what needs to be done and all of that. And, I'm beginning to realize that, people often say, and you too, Matt, that they are listening. They are recording. I don't think they're listening and recording just to see if somebody is saying something so that they could sue them. I think that they are benefiting a lot as to how they strategize, because a lot of people come on queue and they talk and they say a lot of things that they should not come on the radio and talk about. I don't think it is smart as a party. You want to come together, you want to unite, to come on the radio station and talk our strategy. And that is one of the downfall of the people who support the party, even executive members of the UWP. Whatever is going on in the UWP, that's your business. You take care of your business internally. There's no need to come on and talk about what we're going to do and how we are going to do it. This is just not smart at all when they are listening and they are recording. You guys, when Matt is a journalist and he is going to ask the questions, and it's up to you to say, you know what? I'm not prepared to answer that question yet. Or, you will answer some other time, or you don't have the answer for that right now. You do not have to. I know some of you probably just want to be so transparent, but there's a time and there's a place. What you need to do, what you guys are doing as a party, keep it that way. Keep it internal. There's no need to come and talk about strategy and what we need to do and how we're going to unite and what. It's okay. It is okay. There's no need to come on the radio, guys, and say it. And you got people call and they talk about a lot of things. They get carried away and talk and just, spit out everything on cue. There's certain things you need to hold back for yourself and for the party and how you move forward. I am just saying, Matt, and Roosevelt Skerritt is so right. It's not Labour Party house. It is Roosevelt Skerritt's house has a lot of mansions. That's what he needs to say. But it's just he's just throwing red meat out there, and talking a whole set of, garbage, I would say. It's just to say red meat, get some traction, change the conversation. That's what it's about. Anyway, you guys don't fall for the trick all the time. He's not even changing it. It's he's doing and saying the same thing all the time. If my memory serves me right, I think a couple years ago he said that. He said that very same thing. It's just a thing. Don't worry about it. Don't fall for everything.
Well, I will tell you that I don't usually disagree. But in terms of strategy, as it relates to unity, I don't think you should hide the fact that you want to unite with another political party. Why would you hide and you want the people to know? You don't tell them about specifically what strategy it is, but you need the people to work together. Or the opposition forces to come together. You're gonna remain silent about that? I don't know want to I don't think I want to agree with that statement there. Again, we have to agree to disagree, but all right, let's see if we can take a phone call on the telephone. Yes, hello. Yes. 1 and 2, yes.
But the lady said some of the things she said is true. Because not everything your position, every strategy your kind of
So the strategies, yes, you don't have to disclose your strategies, but you have to speak about things that you should let the people know about.
might have certain things that some of them saying they shouldn't say. Yes, especially members of the party saying certain things and they do keep it on the wrap. Because a lot of things happening, just giving them people outside there room to expand on what we say we're going to do. They're just using that in a different format. On another note, Matt, I didn't listen. Not only didn't listen, I heard Soso was speaking, but I was on a call at the time. I didn't pick up on everything he said, but I heard you say something.
But because he was basically saying there at the end, he said he wanted to welcome Joshua back. One part of it. The second part, we were talking about whether he thought that the Roseau MP performed and is doing her job as the MP, the member of parliament for Roseau. That's what happened.
She performed?
I was asking him the question whether he thinks that she performed as the MP, as the PAL rep.
Okay. But to your satisfaction, have you any seen real performance of some of the
But what do you describe as the real performance, though? I mean, you would agree with me, Blue, that she has done a few things. People don't think that she has done too much, but you would agree that she has done some like cosmetic stuff. You understand? Yes.
Like where she put the, what they call it, the promenade there, but
Uh-huh.
she built it for her people. She didn't build it that everybody that was there before doing previously would get a part in it. She built it for specific people. So I wouldn't call that an improvement because she did it for her own benefit and her own good. The apartment was built to hold people for voting. You don't give people apartments to live in for voting. In all parts of the world, people living in apartments, doesn't matter how small it is, they have to contribute. You retired, you're living in England, you have to pay for council housing. At least you have to pay something. But that one, they just give it to them to live in Macchio for voting. That's not a good thing at all. And so many years now we hear, oh, roads are going to be this, roads are going to be that. We haven't seen anything. What happened to the $41 million that they said they get last Monday. She beg and pray on it so much for road enhancement. What happened? What happened to that $41 million? We haven't seen nothing in Roseau. They build some kind of kit on the ready, some kind of thing they did with IT and say that's what Roseau going to look like. I don't see where Roseau going to look like that with that kind of sketch they put there. And you said somebody on the radio or the way the person was praising, might you expect that person to do anything better? When that person's bread is buttered with Labour Party milk, their cheese, their beef, and everything of Labour Party, Matt, that person cannot say nothing better because they know if they say do anything or say anything,
Oh, so you're saying that person benefiting then?
Matt, 199% that person on the other radio station benefiting, and you know that. In all ways, in all forms. From paracetamol to rubbing alcohol. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day, Blue. It's what time is it? We're gonna have a next stop there with our friends from the National Cooperative Credit Union in a few minutes. So stick around. Hello, talk to me. Very busy morning. Are you there? Yes.
Let the presence change blessings and glory to all those who have sacrificed their personal safety and security, trying to elevate mankind, humanity, municipality, blessings to the family, sir.
Blessings to you.
I give thanks, I accept, receive, and boomerang again. Matt, let me shout out Bonnie Ryan. I heard he will be at the court today. I just did some prayers for him, one incense, 3 candles, and an open Bible. Psalms 35, I let it go like a bomb. Boom. Malinda Tush, I'm not hearing you. Matt, did I just hear, maybe I badly hear, I was a little distant. I hear I hear somebody saying, in my father's house, there are many corruption. Something's welcome.
Mansions, not corruptions.
You sure that's what you heard, Matt?
I'll send you the voice note.
Okay, all right. In my father's house, there are many mansions. So where they are, Mondaniel, the mansions are? Or Dubai? Where these mansions are? Scarrett, can you please answer? Honorable Prime Minister, I want to change my tone, Matt. Can you help me, Matt? You see, you're not answering me. But when I say bad things, you're quick to interject.
But answer, you say what blessings? He's made the statements, and of course, you are asking. I've told you, I sent you because you're not sure that you listened or heard. So, what do you want me to say?
Let me get my point across. Sorry,
okay, go ahead.
Apologies.
Go ahead.
Matt, in these criminals' insatiable excesses, and the brother used a word ago, and he said he don't know what it means. A calaboose is a prison. Calaboose means a jail, Creole or French or what it is. A calaboose is a jail, so he's right. He has the people under duress. He's holding them hostage in those houses because those houses are jails. I told you where they say they stole the solar lights. Those are looking quite square, Matt. Those that is not, it just colorful. They give it a kind of strange color. I hope it's not a false flag attack. They go and they send the Navy SEALs and the snipers to take the solar lights and blame it on people to make a big scandal. I think if they did not see and hear, look us and look somebody trying to destroy it, because that's how criminally minded people operate. You remember Tony Astafans and Roosevelt Skerritt committed a crime against Roosevelt Skerritt and says Linton who did it and sent police at his home and all kind of thing. Matt, I'm just saying, all this kind of abuse there, you know what, who I love in the whole equation? The priests and the pastors, the slaves of this Dominica lethal party. They know what they're getting, so they can't talk. They can't preach against the corruption and the abuse, Matt. How can you use a people resources? Why is it the patronage or the patrimony? I'll look the word again, Matt. The passports, Matt, the passport. Sell it automatically. That is the people money, Matt. Build apartments, and as the guy said, and many people have said, and we all have said, previous administrations build apartments and had people pay for them by installment. If it's 20 years after, your house is yours. Your apartment is yours. But Skerrit built some things there. The Chinese, Anthony Hayden, poorly constructed. Matt, you remember Siri exposing all the sewage problem, the cracked walls, the flooding, the plumbing. Matt, can you remember Siri?
Yes.
With all what Siri have exposed, how poorly constructed these things are. And you're putting people in there. And you go on Cairo and say, oh, these are 100% government owned. But look, they say his wife is coming and talk about, they're going to give them land title. Where? What kind of game is that? A political loophole? So she can slip in like some slippery fish when she gets cornered with a question pertaining to what she said. And in closing, Matt, as much as Melissa getting praise for everything that happening in Roseau, Matt, you say, well, how you say cosmetic dressing or whatever it is, Matt, cosmetically she did some things. But if she getting praises for all that, can she get praise for all the crime and violence that taking place within that jurisdiction, Roseau? Because she have Navy SEALs and snipers. Melissa, are you going to take a responsibility or praise for all the crime, violence, lawlessness, the vagrancy, the drug addiction and the drug dealing and all the double parking, the congestion, the nasty sidewalks, the nasty streets? Are you going to take some credit for that too?
All right, blessings. Thank you very much. It's already 2:25. The next few minutes, of course, we have our friends here from National Cooperative Credit Union. I see them playing cricket yesterday. Who was the umpire there? All right, so it's 9:30. We're going to take a few more calls. I will take NCCU. All right. Hello, talk to me.
Morning, Matt. How are you?
Hey, how are you? How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm listening interested and allow me to comment on two things.
Okay. We have 5 minutes.
So, but I'll be brief, particularly with regard to strategy and the political strategy and party unity, because I listened with interest at your response, right? There's a difference between a party in opposition and a government in power, okay? A government in power is accountable to the public because the people have voted for them, the people are paying taxes, and so therefore whatever a government does, they are obliged to let the people know what is happening in terms of the general population.
Okay.
A party in opposition does not necessarily have that responsibility to communicate to anybody what it does in opposition, okay? Because remember, the incumbent party will always have the upper hand on information, on money, on access, and many other things to hold itself together. An opposition party has to have the clear strategy that when they're in opposition, they have to keep very close to their chest the things that they do. So while this unity in opposition may be something that is disheartening to the party supporters, I would not agree, like you, that people have to know what they are doing. Because, Matt, and I say so on 5 grounds. One, we have to look at what is the level of internal weakness. We have to look at what negotiation strategies are in place. What is the damage to the public image that can come out of that? What is the potential for misinterpretation? And what is the possibility of maintaining a strong public image? Allow me to just run through that very quickly, because I heard you tell a caller that no, not necessarily. Because opposition parties, for them to win election, they have to hold as much as their strategy to get it without. And one of the things I have found with the UWP in Dominica, they are too transparent. They are in opposition. They don't have an obligation to tell everybody what they are doing, like the government in power. The government in power doesn't even tell the people of Dominica 90% of what it is doing.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Joseph, as we have a little interaction before we wrap it up. Okay, so the United Workers' Party comes and announces a meeting there in Langon. So what would you advise the United Workers' Party or the opposition, the forces, the outside forces, to speak about at that meeting? Just a blank question.
Well, speak on the national issues. Speak on the issues that are affecting the people. Show how you will be a different government when you get into power from what is there. You have to be able to demystify the government in power and reveal to the people of Dominica how you are going to make their lives better, not necessarily on your...
So are we saying something different?
Well, no, because you're talking about the unity. I'm more speaking about the unity, unity. And the steps towards unity, one has to approach that very closely because, you see, political parties might choose not to disclose attempts at unity for several reasons. Because the attempts could involve internal negotiations or compromises that, if made public, could be seen as a weakness or a sign of internal division.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that could potentially harm their image with voters. Now, additionally, publicizing such effort could make it more difficult to reach agreements, as different factions within the party might be unwilling to compromise in front of an audience. So when we look at that in a more detailed way, when we look at the issue of internal weakness, for instance, when you disclose attempts at unity, that could be interpreted as a sign that the party is struggling to maintain internal cohesion, which can erode public trust and support. And so you have to look at the negotiation strategy. Publicly airing internal discussions about unity could damage the ability to negotiate effectively, as different factions might be less willing to compromise if their positions are being debated in public. And then you have to be concerned about the damage to the public image, because some people view internal discussions about unity as a sign of weakness or infighting, which could damage the party's reputation and electoral prospects.
I'll tell you what, Simeon, of course, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation because we need to continue that conversation. Everybody now seems to be calling me. But we'll have the conversation sometime later. Yes? But we need to talk. We need to talk, okay? Let's take a break there for our friends there from the NCCU. I'm liking the conversation, Simeon, and we'll continue to talk about that. But we have to take a break for our friends from the National Cooperative Credit Union.
Financial partner, yes, support you through all disaster. And this is your trust that we care. The kind of loyalty you cannot find anywhere. National Cooperative Credit Union, education, training, and information. Self-help, responsibility, democracy, equality, solidarity. And with you, we have no heart for our members. So become a member today at one of our local offices to help us make your dreams come true. 255-2126. NCCU, your community financial partner.
From the cradle to the grave, NCCU, you don't want to be slave. NCCU, you need a loan you want to save. NCCU, welcome and visitors today. With a commitment to quality, therefore you and me was one the family, but now with the community, making life easy, like everything. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage
with rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
Open an MRA,
save for your golden years, and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
You all the way.
All right, Dominic, we're here with the NCCU. When they're in the house, you never want them to leave, so they're here. Maybe they'll give you some good news. We'll talk about that. Good morning, ladies. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I wanted to hear your voice. Yes. Okay.
Good morning to everybody listening to the sound of our voices. Special good morning to the members of the NCCU and the members of staff, of course, of the NCCU. Always say, if you feel left out, you know what to do. You need to become a member of the NCCU today.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Madam. Well, how
you
are
seem
you?
a little shy this morning. Okay?
No, not at all. I think we are with you. I think she's reminiscing on the last time we were here, man. I told everybody about it. They all laughed.
Serious?
Yes.
And you promised them what?
I didn't promise them anything. I just told them about our encounter.
It's good to be here on the hot seat here
Always,
with you,
always,
Matt.
always good to be here.
Yes,
good
always
to
a
be here.
pleasure. We're keeping our promise, Matt. We did promise to come back. We spoke about AGM the last time, and we told the members that and the listeners that a
Okay.
link would have been made available for registration for online attendance to the AGM, the 15th AGM.
Okay.
And we said we would come back before that, and we are here. Keeping our promises, not
Thank
empty
you,
promises.
thank
We're
you.
keeping them. Thank you.
I saw you waving your big flag yesterday. What's going on there?
I didn't know I was a celebrity flag waver. Apparently,
Well, we only had
well,
we
we
were the
had
only team with a
yes,
flag.
but I mean, it's really testament to the fact that you just never know who's seen you and when.
You see?
So NCCU, we are celebrating Staff Month this
Okay.
month. So we've been having many activities for staff, including scavenger hunts and riddles and
Okay.
so many different things going on. So shout out to the HR department of the NCCU. Big shout out to you all. And so yesterday we had our sports day, and man,
We had 4 teams.
we had 4 teams.
Shari and I were both on Team Pink, and we won yesterday.
Yes, we won. So let's say that. But
Big summary.
Big summary, because Matt, it was intense. The competition was intense before the day even.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It was intense via emails. It was intense throughout. But man, it was
Some of
trash
us were
talk.
fake not talking
I
to
was
each
wondering
other.
what was the pink and colors about?
Yes, so we had 4 teams, as Monique said, and so we had 4 different colors,
Okay.
and so we were representing yesterday.
So different teams from the different credit unions around.
It was all
No, it's
random.
all
No, just
NCCU, all NCCU, yes, across
So
all our
randomly put
locations.
into the 4
Yes.
teams.
Oh, nice.
Mhm,
So how many members altogether?
We have over 100 and
We have almost 200
we're
staff
almost
now.
200 staff
More
now.
than 200
Yes.
already.
All right.
Yes.
Wow.
We're
wow.
very, very close to 200, if not.
And a lot of people turned out.
Yes, the
Oh,
turnout
yes.
was good. I mean, we still, of course, miss a few people, of course, but
Okay.
the turnout was very good. Turnout was
Oh,
and the
yeah.
participation was great as well.
So you didn't play. You just
No,
you were
I
the flag
have
waver.
I have retired from playing sports. Well,
Really?
my knee retired me from playing sports.
Okay.
Mentally, I'm still very much
Okay.
alive.
All
Which is
right.
why you saw the flag high up
Oh, I
yesterday.
see the high. I said what?
Very. And you know she tall already, so you had to see it.
Conspicuous there. Anyway,
But it was a good day, and
it
but
looked
yes,
exciting.
It was
yes,
fun.
it was
Yes.
a good day. It was fun. Team building is very important, and it is very interesting that this happened just on the heels or the cusp of the AGM,
Okay.
because you do need your team to work together to pull off a successful AGM.
All right.
You know, it takes a lot of work to get an AGM up and running or to happen. It's not just let's call an AGM and people just show up. There's a lot that has to go on behind the scenes. So, a team building activity was actually a very good thing to happen before the AGM. So AGM is on Wednesday. I no longer have to say next week. I don't even think I need to necessarily say the 28th, because it's on Wednesday.
Okay.
This Wednesday, the only Wednesday this week.
Mm.
So
The
AGM,
last Wednesday in the month.
the last Wednesday of the month, right? So
Okay.
AGM is on, and it is on at 5 p.m. at the St. Alphonsus, or most of us know it as the Goodwill Parish Hall.
Mhm.
So this information that I just gave is for those of us who are going to be there in person.
Okay.
If you are planning to join us online, so for all our listeners who are in the diaspora, all our listeners, our members who are in another part of the island and unable to make it because of work, because of commitments, maybe you just don't like to travel the long distance to town, this is for you. You are able to be a part of the AGM online, as we said last time. The link is available. It is live. You can go onto our website. That's www.nccu.com. You will find the link in NCCU University. So when you go onto the website, you just take a look at the top left-hand corner.
Okay.
More towards the left, you will see the words NCCU University. You click that, and our 15th AGM hub will open up. There you will find everything that you need pertaining to the AGM. So that includes the link for online registration. That includes the link for the guides. There's a guidebook that's there for registration and for voting. So all the information that you need. And then also the AGM report. Last year's AGM report is there as well. So you can go in, get your information, do your deep dive into the AGM report, see what points you want to raise. There's also the minutes of the AGM last year. That's there as well. And a resolution that was raised last year. So all the information you need. In addition, the AGM reports up to 2019, as far back as 2019, are available on the hub as well. So you may want to go back into the others, compare and contrast, to as you put your points together as to what you want to say at the upcoming AGM. So we felt it's important to give the opportunity for the members who are out of state and unable or on island but unable to join in to be able to do so. And that is what the link is for.
So you can come in and ask any questions.
Yes, so you come in. What we are doing, what we allow or we offer, the members in person, we're offering the same to those online. So the questions have been coming in as to, if I need to ask a question, how do I do so? So we need to touch on this part of it. We always smile every time we come to that part, because when you log in, or you join the meeting, after you've done your registration and everything, you join the meeting, your mic will be muted.
Okay.
And your
camera will be disabled. Of course, naturally, we want to ensure that we keep everything on the up and up.
Okay. You want peace?
One piece, yes.
Okay.
I like that. Every station that we go on, we get a different way of saying this. I like Matt's way, we want peace. That is correct. So if you have a point to make, of course, you are welcome to do so. There is a feature on the Zoom platform called the raise hand feature. So you click that button, you click that, and the moderator will allow.
But does that say though? Because it might send a bad signal. Okay, so I'm at the meeting and I hear a point being raised at the meeting. Can I? Because you said questions have to come from in advance. Is that
no.
Okay.
No. Right there, you
meeting,
just raise hand. There's the raise hand
feature.
So just how you would raise your hand at the meeting in person, so that somebody can bring the mic to you, you would raise your hand on the online platform, and the moderator will unmute your mic so that you can make your point. So the same way.
It's very transparent.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, if you are nominating somebody, because of course, there are nominees who would have been vetted in advance, but you can also nominate. We can take nominations from the floor.
Okay.
So the same way in person that you can nominate somebody on the day of the meeting, even online, you're able to do so. Now, when you are ready to nominate somebody, of course, you would have to say so. So again, you raise your hand during the time of nominations from the floor. Raise your hand, the moderator will allow you to speak to the meeting and give your nomination. Now, let's say, Matt, you get nominated and you say, okay, I agree. But you're not there in person, but you're there online. We will naturally have to see you. We need to see who Matt Peltier is.
Okay.
So at that point...
Still at this stage?
At that point, your camera would need to be enabled so that the meeting can see who the nominee is. We are encouraging, we are imploring, we are, I don't know what other word to use, our membership.
Encouraging.
We're encouraging you, please. Let us ensure that we are modestly attired so that at the point when your camera is enabled, that we have peace. No, that we have peace. No, it doesn't have to be Jack inside, but I'll stick with your word that we have peace.
Okay.
We do not want for there to be any embarrassment for you or for the institution. So we're encouraging everybody, please be modestly attired. Now, somebody might say, okay, but I'm just there going to be on Zoom and my camera is not enabled. I know I'm not going to get nominated. Well, first off, you don't know. Somebody could nominate you. But then you say, okay, I'm properly attired from waist up, which is something that we have all done, I think, on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Properly attired from the waist up. So camera is on and, the face is on and everything. But from the waist down is, business. What is it? Business at the top, party below. Yeah, it's a party below. So you may say, okay, but I'm just sitting. So at the time that I turn on my camera, now, of course, you'll be put into a virtual back room.
Right.
So that the moderator can have, conversation with you before you go on to the actual meeting. But you're sitting there, just a scenario, you're sitting there and then you have a cat and the cat passes by.
Yeah.
That tail hits your leg and you frighten and you jump up.
I just can't imagine.
Can imagine, right? So just to avoid that, let's just be modestly attired from at least head to toe,
In
not jacket and tie,
in a
but
quiet space.
yes, in a quiet space. So we want to encourage the membership to don't feel like you're going to miss out on the opportunity to have an impact if you don't come in person. Online, we will be affording the same things that you could do in person online as well.
Very interesting. But let's take a break. We'll come back, Dominic. I'm sure, as usual, you'll have a lot of questions. But let's take a break. We'll come right back, Dominic. Stick around.
You need a love, you want to stay. You want for my visitors today. Hey, with a commitment to quality. Therefore, you and me was one the family, but now with the community. Making life easy, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage
with rates as low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
Open an MRA.
Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
NCCU all the way.
Your community financial partner.
NCCU.
You need a loan, checking account, fix the policy for insurance. NCCU got you in various offices. So with high time, so big new membership. You want quality products, we have that. You want quality services, we have that too. Our services will help make your dreams come true. That's a fact. Hurry now to NCCU, your community financial partner. Yes, support you through all disaster. And NCCU trust that we care. The kind of loyalty you cannot find anywhere. National Cooperative Credit Union, education, training, and information. Self-help, responsibility, democracy, equality, solidarity. NCCU, we have no heart for our members. So become a member today at one of our local offices to help us make your dreams come true. 255-2126. NCCU, your community financial partner.
All right, Dominica, we have the NCCU or focus this morning, the AGM coming up on Wednesday.
Yes, so with after you've registered, and just to let everyone know, today is actually the last day to register to online for the online attendance of our meeting at 11:59 p.m. So it is now currently
11:59 p.m.
p.m.
Okay.
1 minute to midnight.
All
It's
right.
now 9:46, so you have a lot of time. Even if you're busy at work, you can do it after work.
Okay.
So after you've registered, you need to be and make sure that you have your email well lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So if your account is not updated and you have an email address that you are not using,
Mm-hmm.
you need to probably come into and meet us today and change your email address so that you have a current email address to use. Because that's going to be very important, because that's how you're going to get your ballot when you've registered.
Okay. So tell me the time, because I suspect some people may have tuned in late. So what time is this meeting on Wednesday?
The meeting is at 5 p.m. on Wednesday at the Goodwill Parish Hall or St. Alphonsus Parish Hall for those Catholics.
The Catholics.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Before Monique continues with regards to the voting aspect, I just wanted to plug in there. This registration is not registration for the AGM for everybody. This is only registration for online attendance. So you cannot register online, then show up at the meeting and assume that you've been registered already. This is not going to work that way. Furthermore, if you register online and then you show up to the meeting, there is, of course, a registration part that happens first at the meeting. Your online registration will be revoked. It's one or the other.
Question there was, will the camera be on for the member who's making the nomination online?
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
Both the nominator and the nominee will have
Yes.
to put on their cameras.
Yes.
Thank
So,
you for that.
so that is where the encouragement comes in for the being moderately attired, because you just never know. You may have something to say that requires the membership seeing you. So let's just do it from the get-go.
Okay, that's some more questions coming on my
Sure.
on my phone there. You can call in too, you can call in. So All right, so the numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-425-7 unit to ask any question to our panel here. Matt, can you ask the NCCU to repeat the link for the AGM, please? When people are given websites, please DHL, then repeat it and also spell it out. All right, so
No problem. That is fine, of course.
all right, good.
So it's www.
Take your time and write it down. Mhm,
Yes.
Go ahead.
www.nccudominica.com. www.nccudominica.com. You go to NCCU University. However, if you have social media, as in Facebook or Instagram, you can look for our post that says our 15th AGM is live or link is live. And then the link is there. So you could just click that and it will bring you directly to the registration page. Or you can scan the QR code, which is also on the post, on the graphic that we put. So you have a few options. You could go directly to the website, www.nccudominica.com. You look for NCCU University. If you are doing that via a mobile device like your cell phone, please search. There's a nice search bar. Just search for NCCU University so that you don't go looking all over. You can just search NCCU University.
Mhm.
Once you click that, everything will open up for you. Everything is labeled there the same way as the website. If you're using your computer, if you're using a tablet, on the NCCU University, you will see the registration link. It says online registration link. Also, you will see the registration, you'll see guideline. There's a guideline for registration and for voting as well. When in doubt, send us a message on social media or give our member care center a call, 255-2126, and we will advise you accordingly.
Somebody's asking again, you know, do you have to pay to register?
Not
No,
at
absolutely
all.
not.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. There's no fee attached to this. No fee attached to any part of this. Well, the only fee attached is whoever your service provider is for your internet. But there's no fee from the NCCU
All
for
right,
this.
so no money, just come and of course enjoy or participate.
Correct.
Yeah, once you're a member, you're entitled to a vote, and so we'll always welcome all our members to the AGM.
Now I see we have registration for online, but when you come to the meeting, you don't have to register, do you?
Yes, you do.
Yes, when you come in person, there are some members of staff there who will be signing you in.
Okay.
Yeah, so the same rules apply in person and online. You have to register. It's just that, of course, registration for online, there's a deadline, as Monique said, whereas registration in person, it's on the day. But registration for online, you have to do that so that we can vet. There's a vetting process, of course, that has to take place. And just to touch on what Monique was saying with regards to the email address, the importance of your email address being the same one that is linked to your account is because this is what all your information is going to be sent to. So if you made a particular email address and you no longer use that, you need to be mindful that you need to provide in the registration, you need to provide the same email address that is there on your account. So what do you need to register? You need to know your name.
Right.
You need to know your account number.
Are you saying some people don't?
Some people have
the
different
thing is, we
names
have
on their
different
accounts
names.
as
Sometimes
well.
you have a name on account, and what is the name that you go with through your daily walk of life is completely different. So you need to know your actual name on account, I should say. So you need to know your name, you need to know your account number, and you need to know your email address, and it needs to be the email address that is on your NCCU account.
I'm getting a very interesting question. Will you be serving coffee? Why? Coffee. Will you be serving coffee? I suspect a refreshment.
In person?
I would love to send a virtual coffee to somebody, but that's not possible. But of course, with AGM, there's always beverages and snacks. Yes, there's always complimentary stuff available.
Come and see.
Yes, and come and see.
Come and see.
Yes.
You're not living too far, so come and see. Okay.
Just to continue on with the voting process.
Yeah.
So once you've received your ballot, during the meeting, make sure that you're listening because there'll be prompts for when voting is open. And we have voting for 3 committees: the board of directors, the supervisory committee and the credit committee. So you have to make sure that you're listening for each prompt for each group,
Okay.
because voting is only open for a certain period of time for each group. So make sure that you
Do
vote
you
at that time.
do you already have nominees for these positions?
Yes.
As we speak,
Each group,
Because
there are seven.
I know that it's like almost like an election day, the NCCU.
Yes.
People.
Each group has around 7 or so positions open, and they all have nominations that exceed that. And then you can still look on the floor for more. So you may have more on the day.
Okay.
So make sure that you're listening for all the nominees, especially if you haven't consulted the report, because the nominees are listed on the back of the report. At least those who were submitted in nomination committee.
Okay.
So always make sure you listen. They're in the voting platform. They're actually tabs saying what is open, what is closed, and what is pending. So when you get to the meeting and you get onto the platform, you'll see that everything is under pending. So you'll see board of directors, credit, supervisory. Once they're open, they will move into the open tab where you can go and open your ballot to vote. If you see you have any issues with your internet at that time, if your ballot is open and the voting period is still open, you can refresh the page, see if you can get stronger connection, and you'll be able to vote. But once the time has passed, and if you have not voted during that time, your vote will not be counted, because you get an opportunity
Every member
to do
has
so.
one vote.
One vote for each. But there are multiple positions within each group. So you may be able to vote for a few people within each, but they will let you know. So you listen to the prompts, how many you can do.
I know. It's almost like an election there at the NCCU for these positions there. I know that.
We have very big committees. There are 13 positions on each committee.
I know people have carried boss loads.
Yes.
To come to vote. So
Campaign.
a big campaign going on there. Big campaign.
I mean, it's national, so there's a lot, in the public eye.
Yeah.
So yeah,
over 50,000 members is a lot of work,
yeah.
and so we need a lot of people to manage that.
Yeah, so it is important to, as Monique was saying, to pay attention to what is going on, because again, another thing that and I say we, I like to use myself as an example, Matt.
Okay.
Another thing that we do when we are on Zoom calls is, the call is going on, the meeting is going on, and we are in the fridge looking for food, we are cooking, we are washing, we're doing all different things. If you miss that window of opportunity for the voting, then that's it. There's no going back to it. And it, again, is the same as in person. If you do not cast your vote at the time when voting is open, you will not be allowed to vote again, because that window has closed. So let us please pay attention, even as we are, whether we're online or we are in the meeting.
And select your members carefully, because once you've cast your vote,
that's it.
You've selected everybody, you've clicked submit, that you cannot go back to change.
Yeah.
So make sure you choose wisely.
Well, I'm going to take one final break and we'll come back to close up today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. We're going to come back, Dominica, just to close it up.
You need a love, you want to stay. You want for my visitors today. With a commitment to quality. Therefore, you and me was one the family, but now with the community. Making life easy, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage,
with rates of low as 5% and loans for all your needs.
Open an MRA.
Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
You all the way.
Wow. Your community financial partner.
NCCU. From the cradle to the grave, you don't have to do free. You need a loan, you want to stay. You want for my visitors today. With a commitment to quality. Therefore, you and me was one the family, but now with the community. Making life easy, like it. No matter who you are, you can benefit. When you bring your mortgage,
with rates of low as 5% and loans for all your needs. Save for your golden years and take advantage of our savings product.
We will finance your business.
Checking accounts, small business loans, wire transfers, and so much more.
You all the way.
Your community financial partner.
All right, we're gonna get our final comments here for the morning. Of course, we've spoken about a lot, but
We have, yes, one topic, but a lot to say about it.
somebody's asking me just a minute ago, boy, is that a general election?
It feels like it.
Yeah, we have to treat it like that, because again, the membership, it's important. It's credits people's money, so it is a big deal. So we have to treat it with that sort of respect and that national.
And the people on the committees, they're representing you, the general
Yes.
membership. There are over 50,000 members, and that's 39 people making decisions for all
Yes,
of us.
yes.
So it's very important that you think very hard and well.
This is
about who you're choosing to lead us.
this is why we say this is your chance, the opportunity for your voice to be heard, the opportunity for you to make an impact, the opportunity for you to call the shots. It's the AGM. So at the end of the day, you don't come or you don't pay attention, and then things are changed, policies are passed, those things, and then you're not happy with it. The opportunity to speak on those things is the AGM. So that's why we're encouraging every member, once you are able, please join us on Wednesday at 5 p.m. at the St. Alphonsus or the Goodwood Parish Hall or online so that you can make your contribution.
Our final caller there. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you.
Are these ladies from Roseau Credit Union?
From the National Credit Union, which includes Roseau, yes.
It includes Roseau.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them to pass a message to the manager for me, telling him, don't insult people by giving women a sweetie for Mother's Day. I did not take it, but that's an insult.
All right, Lucille. I mean, you're not there. She's basically saying that she came for Mother's Day and had some things given out, and she didn't feel pleased about it.
She didn't feel pleased. Okay, we're sorry. We're sorry to hear that. Maybe what you can also do. I like when we get those comments, because I want to hear what is it you would like. That's why we always say, tell us what you didn't like, tell us what. But when you're telling us what you didn't like, give us some insight as to what you would like. So we did something you were not happy with. Please help us to understand, because if you don't tell us what else to do, then we may come back with something similar. But let us know what you like, what you don't like, and give us advice and suggestions as well. So please, you can feel free to call Member Care to let them know, or if you are a social media person, you can send us a message on social media to give us your insight as to what you think should be done for Mother's Day. But again, every branch had different things that they were doing. So it may just be that particular branch that would have had such feedback. We don't know. But we can only know when you tell us. So AGM is coming up, please. And again, I should say maybe it's a good time to just plug in there quickly that Love Your Account is still on, and Love Your Account, the Mother's Day edition, is on. So members of your family can get an opportunity to get a massage, pedicure, manicure, facial.
It's all a lovely mix.
It's just a lot of stuff that's available. So it is still on. So it's really just about loving your account, updating your accounts, opening an account, taking out their particular loan facilities as well. So once you take advantage of that, there is an opportunity for you to be gifted something from the glam as well. So that is still available. It ends on May 31st, but AGM is happening first, Wednesday, 5 p.m., St. Alphonsus or Goodwood Parish Hall, and online.
All right, our final call this morning. Final. Every time you're about to go, somebody else calls. Hello, talk to me. Yes, quickly, please.
Yes, I'm going to talk to you.
Yes, not
But
me.
let me tell you.
Tell me.
When you see people disagree with things that are happening to them, let them voice their frustration. Because it was very disrespectful for Credit Union to give Mother's Day a sweetie. It was disrespectful. And I don't want that madam to tell us what we have to tell them. They're supposed to know what we have to tell them.
But if you don't tell her, how would she know? This is basically saying if you're not in agreement with what you guys got on Mother's Day, tell the credit union. So, I mean, you want to voice your concern. The lady just said, if you're not satisfied, just tell them, and maybe next year they'll correct it, right?
Would like
Right. Give us some
an
insight
idea,
as to
yeah.
what you would like to see. And I must say that was just one of the things that was there. They had sweets, they had candies, they had wines, they had gift certificates, they had snacks, they had, so it may have just been the time that she came in that this is what was maybe available at the time. But I know they had a wide range of things given out. So
What I would say, because I don't want this to be a tit and tat, what I would say is to put a suggestion box. So maybe next time you'll have an idea as to what the mothers are looking for.
that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly
suggestion
fine.
box.
Yep.
Even now.
Even now, yes. So
All
we
right.
can find out exactly what you'd like to get.
All right. Well, we're saying good morning because if I allow phone calls, well, this will continue.
We'll stay there with you, Ole. I know you want me to work with you, Matt.
All right.
I know that.
It was a pleasure, though.
Always a pleasure.
See you there on Wednesday. Maybe I might decide to attend the AGM.
Well, if you're going to attend online, you need to register before 11:59 tonight. Yeah.
I will come in person.
Okay,
if
of
I have
course.
to. All right, take care.
All right,
It was
thank
a
you,
pleasure.
Matt.
No reaction this morning?
Nah. Maybe next time.
Baby next time or maybe?
Maybe next time.
Mouvement créole à secure. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM que présenter. Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs, 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, proverbe, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement là? Mouvement créole à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
Customers are counted but not valued, like mere numbers, statistics, transactions. But at Flow, we're prioritizing you, our valued customers who have been with us through every milestone, every moment. That's why we're putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers claim up to $400 in rewards for smartphones, groceries, and more when you add mobile to your current internet plan. Because loyalty isn't a one-way street. At Flow, loyalty flows both ways.
Auto Trade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the Auto Trade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new Auto Trade app. Download the Auto Trade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
Cause I'm on my way. KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way.
The Quartz 5-day sale is here from May 26th to May 30th. Get ready to save big across all stores. Lounge and dining, 20% off cash purchases and 30% off credit purchases. For the bedroom, buy 2, get 1 free, excluding Ashley products. Hurry in, deals like this won't last. Shop now, only at Quartz. Terms and conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
Looking to start your next home improvement project? Do It Center has everything you need from foundation to finish. Whether you're building, renovating, or just sprucing up, you'll find a wide selection of construction materials, lumber, tools, finishings, and of course, Do It Best quality paints. price. Perfect for every room. Now with 2 convenient locations on Goodwill Road and Coke Street, it's easy to shop in person or you can browse the full collection online at store.doitcenterdominica.com. Need delivery? They've got you covered. Do It Center offers island-wide delivery so your purchases reach you wherever you are. Visit them today and the friendly, knowledgeable staff will help bring your home improvement dreams to life. Do It Center Dominica, your partner in home improvement.
What you're looking for is at the best price. What you're looking for is at the right.
Best price, best price. Everything is nice. And oh, you will love the price. Convenient and easy. Make shopping breezy.
The luxury of everything in one supermarket located on the riverbank with parking. Best Price open daily all week with home store decor for every room, pharmacy for all prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, supermarket for all your grocery items, fresh produce and frozen.
What you're looking for is all at Best Price.
You're looking for is at value.
And there's the quality. When I'm out and it's my time to play. It's actually not the crew making a difference for you. I hear you get rocked anytime you drink it. The XM Supreme 15 years. The XM Royal 10 years. XM 5 years. And the 750 milliliter bartender. Come on, pass me a bunch. Thanks extra match, yeah. Premium blend. Try out the 200 or the 750 ml. Yeah, man. Guaranteed for any occasion. Say you can't go wrong with thanks from. Hey, you can test the quality. Thanks, yeah, more than Chanel. Thanks, Supreme High Wine. The pot and the white wine. And for the cake, greater than me, thanks, Sherry Brandy. I get thanks. You can test the quality. When I'm out and it's my time to play. It's actually not the crew making a difference for you. I hear you get ranks. Anytime you drink it, remember. Think responsibly.
Fresh Market Pharmacy has expanded to customers with its new additional location at Best Price. 2 convenient locations on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and at Best Price Riverbank. Fresh Market Pharmacy provides over-the-counter medication, health and personal care, prescription drugs, and natural supplements. Our experienced pharmacists and technicians provide the best quality services. Call 225-6883, 255-6875. WhatsApp 316-0310. Your prescription bill just got lowered.
Q95, 95, 95.
I want to go back to a statement I played earlier as it relates to the Labour Party and the representative in Roseau. We heard from Mr. Glenroy Soso Coffee. Somebody asked me to play it again. So here you are. And Soso will be joining me sometime about 1:30. let me just confirm the time. I think I just heard from So. He said he'll be joining me sometime later. Of course, so we can speak in detail, or he will allow me to speak in detail, raise views. Yes, he did say that he would join me at 1:30 this afternoon. So stay tuned for Glenroy So Coffee.
In my life, hard. It's getting bad in this island.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
I had a short time to work with Joshua when he was in the United Workers' Party. And to be honest, I see a man who is full of energy, and he continues to do what he has to do. In fact, I still believe he still has a lot of political capital in him that one can use to elevate himself politically. And the humanitarian side of Joshua, as I always say, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I've always admired this because he's a person who cares for people. But he said something very important earlier in the discussion about imposing oneself on persons. And for the past election cycles, we have noticed that the Labour Party has imposed itself on Dominicans. Dominicans really do not want the Labour Party, but they have found a way to impose themselves on the people of Dominica. Case in point, you know that the Labour Party has been rejected by the people of Dominica, and they have resorted in bringing Dominicans from overseas to fill up the gaps, to give them win where they know they are not sufficiently strong. By and large, I will tell you straight, and Josh is correct, you do not have to have rocket science or even data to actually come to the conclusion that Dominica is in a mess. In fact, I was at the credit union earlier today, and I picked up a book. And when I look at some of what is written there in terms of the delinquency rates, you see that a lot of persons are unable to pay their loans. And the delinquency rates continue to increase in terms of numbers. So it tells you that a bad sign, that the financial indicator here tells you in that report that there are a number of persons who cannot meet their monthly commitments, more so their mortgages. And so we're in a serious situation. And so I believe I want to join the chorus to say that we must do more. We must create that unity and to win hearts. And I'm happy that we have Dr. Fontaine at the helm of the United Workers' Party, a man who I see has a vision, a man who I see interacts and brings people together. And in fact, just as I was walking, a guy stopped me and he said, look, I hope you all are not trying to get rid of Dr. Fontaine, because I'm telling you, it's because of him I'm still in politics. He's fed up with Labour, but he feels that hearing Dr. Fontaine is about the people's plight, and he thinks he wants to work with Dr. Fontaine. But he also reminded me that we must also take up the mantle of uniting all those that want to come on board, and let's work with them and move Dominica forward. To win this government, we have to unite. Failure to do so in the opposition, we are going anywhere. Take that to the bank, we are going anywhere.
So I just want to ask you a question then. Is it Joshua Francis you would welcome in your team? Yes? As a force, a coalition force.
Let me tell you something. I just told you what is part of the strategy. If Josh feels he wants to unite with the United Workers' Party and let's move forward in unity, that is the way to go. If Bosso and all our persons, all about and all our interested Dominicans feel they want to unite with the United Workers' Party, we go forward with a strategy and let's do it together. Collectively we will win. But that's how people do it, you know. One farmer cannot sustain a market, you know. You have to have a number of farmers with targeted production, a targeted acreage, so that you can sustain volumes. Failure to sustain the volumes, you lose the market. So I'm saying we have no time for further division. We have time for unity. We have time for coming together. We have time for one agenda, and we have time to govern this country, to bring some restoration to the people who have been suffering, and to bring a better quality of life for Dominicans. That's what, if you look at all of the records all over,
You going for sponsor from the private sector, they will tell you straight they are unable to give because they're not making. Not their fault. It's not their fault. The economy is properly whittled, and we know that. It's down to the bone. And it's not people's fault that they cannot contribute. Their corporate contributions have dropped. And so unity is it. So yes, Joshua has been part of us. And if Joshua feels independently wants to come, I don't see why we cannot welcome Joshua. Or any other, in fact, too, any other person. I'm not about this one and that one or this one, you know. Even though my politics over the years, I've tried my best to bring people together. I'm one man. I don't cross people. I don't pass people straight. I don't choose who I speak to or who I communicate with. No, that's not the answer to politics. We are going through a fight, and if we have to win that fight, we have to collectively come together and win the fight over everything. Put our differences aside and let's go forward.
Let me ask you a question. So my final question: What do you think about your performance of your MP in Roseau Central?
Well, you know, Matt, I would like one day that you'll invite me so that I can actually give you a synopsis of what is transpiring in Roseau. In fact, we have seen so many things and heard so many things that have been happening, and yet nothing's happened. In fact, I was reading a report some time ago, and since 2019, you talk about a better Roseau, and Great George Street would have been one of the envious streets in Dominica, particularly in Roseau. And up to now, we have seen nothing. I mean, I will not now tell you, I'm not taking up the time to try to dissect everything. But I can tell you, the rep of Roseau is not a performer. She has not performed. She's yet to bring a plan and bring... In fact, by the way, 20 years of Labour Party, we should not be talking about a plan for Roseau. And we should be actually talking about the performance. You know, if the work was put into high gear and the work was done and the rep had performed, right now I'll be telling you what I see the rep has done. But because nothing has been done really, you cannot now point your finger and say that has been done. And by the way, I'm not saying the areas have been improved, but the general consensus, and if you take it, we will point to the fact that Roseau is still in a bad state and maybe even a worse situation than it was before. But I will tell you straight, you can only get a transformed Roseau, a deep, systematic transformation of Roseau when the United Workers' Party will take the reins of government. You know, and that's what I can assure you. But as we speak, the party has nothing to show, and all we know now is party. If the Labour Party was engaging young people into skills training and to ensure that persons were well equipped with the necessary skill set to get them geared to actually transform this economy, it would be a better deal than to have in party. In fact, I can tell you, one of the greatest successes of Labour is about partying. Let us go and soca rumba, wine and drink rum, and that is what they can say that has been their biggest achievement. So, Mark, there's nothing to shout about, but one day I hope that you can invite me to tell you exactly, or to give you to tell you what, in fact, Roseau is required of, and what can actually transform Roseau into the great Roseau that we all look forward to see. But as we speak now, there's nothing to show right now, and the parliament should be ashamed after 20 years of Labour Party. And even she coming in, not too early, but has about 2 terms, I think. She's about 6 years now.
Right. I heard that this morning talking about housing developments around the country.
Man, let me tell you something. The history where I live right now is part of a housing scheme, you know. The Freedom Party made houses, and I took a 20 by 20 house and transformed it to a 30 by 40 up and down. Uh-huh. So the point is, and many other persons have done that too. So it's not the first time we have seen, housing schemes. The UWP have a housing scheme not too far away from me, from where I live. All successive governments have had the chance to actually put housing schemes. The difference though was that we paid for our own. And we were able to expand. They gave us a core house, and we were able to put it to the comfort that we wish to live. What we have seen now is that the Labour Party is strangling people, giving them houses, apartments, and not giving them titles. And whenever they call a rally, all the young people just knocking the door and saying, "You know ready yet? You have to leave your half-cooked rice on the stove and get that one immediately. If you are not seen, the house is threatening to be taken from you." That's not how you develop a country. You must empower people. You must make people use their assets to empower their children, to do well for themselves, to empower themselves, and to transform their lives. Don't control people. And that's what they do. Impose themselves on people so that they can eternally control them. So there's nothing to shout about the housing scheme. I mean, Roseau people have been the biggest recipients of houses outside of Roseau. In fact, we have over 3,000 voters in Roseau, and almost half of that doesn't live in Roseau. or even more. So, the records have shown that a lot of housing development has taken place with previous government. The difference with that right now is that this government is playing a fringe game, but it's just to control. My recommendation at the time was that you could give people houses free on a merit basis. You do what they call a needs assessment. If you have the elderly and so forth, cannot afford to have a job, then of course it's okay. When you pass by the apartments, the kind of vehicles you see, and people who can afford, I'm not saying that they could meet all the expenses, but at least you say, look, put something down and you have a revolving fund. So as the government collecting money from what they contribute, what they will do is to match it up and expand the housing development. That's what you do. That's how you develop a country. I'm not just talking about give somebody a house. No. We are used to that. I just give an example of how we have developed ourselves. Every house that was 20 feet by 20 feet in Paradise Valley, come and look at the development, people's development. So if at all it was a 2 million investment, now it's right now a 40 million development. How it happened? People's development, people's power, people's empowerment. That's what we do.
Yes, and so will be my guest. Glenroy Coffee will be my guest from 1:30 in the afternoon. Of course, sometime later you'll hear of the latest statement from the Dominica Bar Association as it relates to the events of March 19th, 2025. The Dominica Bar Association, a statement on the events surrounding the March 19th protest in Dominica. You'll hear from Mr. Richie Farrell. He's doing a piece on that one. Somebody's saying, what a powerful contribution by Mr. Glenroy Soso Coffee. I just can't get tired of hearing it. Let's take this one there. It's already 10:25. We'll take your phone calls in a while. Let's do that.
See how we moving, watch how we moving, see how we put stand. One domination, Jesus.
All right, from the top.
Once upon a time there was a magic
Called Dominica, right?
people. Let me tell you a story about the pain and the glory. Many rivers flow to the naked eye, bringing fair pain, but also a brand new style. And all these rivers that share the land, the mighty ones move.
Somebody says it should not be about the UWP. It should be about an opposition with a strategy.
And there's no doubt the working up, there ain't no escaping. As the river flows, there are those who will change its passage. But every come
All right, somebody says, good morning, sir. The UWP is in great need of rebuilding and rebranding. the life of me, I really can't understand why the leadership allows this division to continue for so long. Mr. Leonard Clinton, Thompson Fountain need to explain to the public and put this issue behind their back and out there in the mind of the masses.
Yes, my friend, and politicians can come along if they want, cause the people got the glory. See how we float inside. See how we moving. Watch how we grooving. Jesus in the night. Differences, there will always be, so that you'll be you and I'll be me. That's the lovely sound that makes it sweet. Brother, bring your drum, let me stop my beat. Don't let me politician. I want the politics situation. We done jamming, but we know the story. That the fight is the one in this land of the word glory. So put up your hand if you understand. See how we moving, watch how we grooving. See how we stand stand. One lovely nation under a roof. The country's done in the night. Then boys with the hidden agenda and the minded, we will always do get you. We're smart men and politicians, them could come along too, cause we moving with the glory. See how we flow in style. See how we moving, watch how we grooving. Jesus made the night. See how we moving, watch how we moving. See how we moving. One lovely nation under a roof, and Jesus made the night. Some boys with the hidden agendas and the mind benders, we will always do get you. But now that we hold and turn, turning to the promised land, them could come along too, cause we moving with the power and the glory. See how we flow inside. One lovely nation, heading to salvation. Jesus be the night. My people, keep your head on all time. See how we moving, watch how we moving. See how we put it stand. One lovely nation. Jesus.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening events, breaking stories, behind the scenes, in-depth investigative reports. For more, The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
Boy, once I had a dream.
And to be honest, I see a man man.
All right, Dominica, we're here, 449-3095. I know you wanted to have a conversation here, so let's continue to talk, okay? 449-3095. Somebody sent me a message there, the ceremony, I think some church ceremony, 70th anniversary of the Labour Party, and some sentiments expressed at the church in Grand Fond. So let's allow you to listen there.
I just want to give you a perspective, an ecclesiology, an aspect, a glimpse of what the church is all about. You have people from all kind of backgrounds and so on. I would like to highlight, the presence of Dr. Thompson in this celebration. That speaks volume of a culture of consensus and a culture of tolerance. I say this because knowing the context and thing. Before this mass between me and you, a little confession. I wanted to call the Red Cross and some of the funeral homes to be around. You know why? Because some people, for some reason, they were a bit too muty. Too muty, they're not settled in the mind. And Dr. Thompson, your presence speaks volume of a culture of tolerance in the political arena. It is what it is. And I encourage you on both sides to cultivate that tolerance among the followers of both parties. I'm not saying that you have not been doing that, You have not been doing that. But I'm saying this.
All right, a culture of tolerance there. A priest making a special appeal there.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95. The latest happening events, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay on for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95. The big station.
All right, let's take a few phone calls at this time. Yes, hello, talk to me, yes?
Mr. Pelter, is that you?
It is me, yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my beloved brother. Just hold tight. But we should not just talk about inclusion, that collective commonality in our forward movement. I am saying that we need to advocate, we need to demonstrate, we need to agitate for that collectivity, that amalgam, that mix. If Joshua is the Ganji, who is the Nile Mat? Do you know so or workers? You know? But why get that song this morning there?
What song is that? What
song is that? You play innocent most of the time, but you sharp as a samurai sword, Matt, I don't know if somebody that tell you to play that, but that is so appropriate. David Rada, Matt, is?
David Rada, yes. Gangs on the Nile.
Brilliant. And is the appropriateness, Matt, if I may say, and that comes down so good. So I'm saying, Matt, we need to, Matt, there can be a leader and no leadership, Matt.
True.
Because a teacher can be in a classroom and the children are not learning anything. That doesn't mean they're dumb, but the method of teaching may be lacking. And Doc, trust me, I am not saying that to try to say nothing about you, Doc. I am still observing what is going on. Dr. Fountain, I am observing. I am saying leadership is not individual. It's not an individualistic thing. Leadership, Matt, is in the collective. You see, you have a supervisor, Matt. They say you have a school supervisor.
True.
I think Brain was once a school supervisor once, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
My partner, Brain, blessings to you.
He was education
so
officer. He was the education. He was an education officer. Yes.
Okay, an education officer, and then you have a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a minister of education. So you see the whole leadership in the education curriculum, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody think, well, okay, I'll lay back, man, and leave it for Dr. Fountain. Dr. Fountain Lennox Lincoln will save us. No, even you, the supporters. You have to go out of your way. And that's why I like to hold politicians accountable, man. And assist in the governance or the collective commonality in the forward movement where leadership is concerned. So if I don't call your phone and tell you, boss, what you do that is wrong, and I go on the radio, I say, not what Thompson Fountain did that is wrong. Not the other thing saying, do not attack the messenger, focus on the message. Not true, man?
That's true.
So most of the times we are too thin-skinned, we are overly sensitive, and just quickly in conclusion, Matt, two monks were traveling a long distance, Matt. You know the monks in Tibet, in China, in India, plenty of places out there. They went on a long journey, Matt. So on that journey, they met a beautiful woman wanting to cross a river, but the river had, raised up, take some water. So the stone she usually crossed, they were covered. So the elder monk went and he picked the woman up and he crossed her. Not about 2 hours later, the younger monk saying, but brother, we are not supposed to touch women, especially beautiful and attractive women. So the elder monk said, I left the woman at the river. You're still carrying her? That's how bitter some of us are. We move on. Let us move on. We don't have to let go. Our bitterness linger to our own demise. That is what is happening to us in Dominica. We hate one another with a passion, and foreigners come in and just kick us left, right, and center. Not in the interest of time. I'm listening.
All right, let's take another phone call there. It's already 10:39 in the morning. Hello, yes?
You know, it doesn't call if it's not to win, but today is not a prize. How come you not in 6 floor to put your badge, my boy? How come you not in 6 floor to get invitation, man?
Yes, I got an invitation. I think we're going to switch there in a minute. We're going to take the...
because I check in, they put it 10:30 to try to off the program by half an hour. Because you need to go there to get your badge, your 70 badge. And take out the Dominica everybody still at there. Everybody had a 70 badge. And I didn't think,
In a few minutes, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't watch, but I don't entertain rubbish. I just watch it for watching sake. But already.
All right, partner. Now, there's a news conference going on at the Financial Center, the Prime Minister's office there, government quarters. I'm going to join there for a few minutes and share with you some of what is going on there at the news conference. Okay, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Constructively. So, while some may seek to paint a picture that democracy is under siege in Dominica, we must look at the facts. And we must not be afraid to let the facts spoil our stories of lies, deception, and propaganda. We have an unblemished record of continued peaceful elections, vibrant political engagement, and a society where citizens freely express their democratic rights and freedoms. And yes, we have some outstanding examples of true democracy at work. Let's look at the trilogy of electoral reform laws passed in Parliament on March 19, 2025. It represents the most significant undertaking in the history of our independent nation to reform and modernize the electoral process for continuous improvement of free, fair, and credible elections as a backbone of our democracy. The development of these landmark election laws featured extensive national consultations and best practice guidance from international election management experts. This model of inclusivity, transparency, and accountability in the execution of policy for better democratic governance stands as a highlight of the stewardship of the Dominican Labour Party in the last 25 years. I thank the members of Parliament, especially members of the opposition, for the unanimous support of the new Registration of Electors Act, which provides for voter ID cards and cleaning of the voters list. The two requests most hotly debated and in the highest demand on the electoral reform agenda. I also thank the United Workers' Party for its support of the House of Assembly Elections Act and the Electoral Commission Act, according to the UWP political leader, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, we have, and I quote, no issue, end of quote, with those two pieces of legislation. And I think that missed the media. And I think that missed the country. But it begs the question, if the Registration of Electors Act provides for voter ID cards and a clean, accurate voters list, and the UWP has, quote unquote, no issue with the House of Assembly Elections Act and the Electoral Commission Act, then what was the purpose of the March 19th protest action, which the police deemed an unlawful assembly? Political protest action is democracy, but law enforcement intervention to ensure that political protest action does not offend the rule of law is also democracy. The Labour Party remains
Got a brown skin with dreads, and a black with white. He gon' drop that neck. He love the way I fit.
I think we may have had a drop in transmission there. This news conference going on there. We'll try to, of course, join him again as soon as we get that signal back. So let's see if we can join him again. Yes.
In this Labour Party, in this government, we are prepared, as always, to embrace anyone and everyone who is prepared to put aside partisanship for the greater good of government. There is a seat at the table for everyone who is prepared to work in this party, to overcome the challenges that we face and we're confronted with the global tailwinds that are taking place and geopolitical shifts and the impact of climate change. This country is going to require a working in collaboration with everyone. But to do so, we must put country first. And so anyone who puts country first, irrespective of your station in life, irrespective of your circumstance, this party, this government is prepared to engage you in a sincere spirit of collaboration and work together. And I speak of this as the political leader of the Democratic Labour Party. I want to take a moment to reflect on our party's 70th anniversary, which we observed this past Saturday. On Sunday, we marked this important milestone with a service of Thanksgiving in Grand Fond, a fitting location as it was in Grand Fond that I was formally elected as party political leader of the DLP in 2004. That moment remains deeply meaningful to me, and I am grateful to have returned to that community to celebrate the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the party with friends and stalwart supporters of Labour. Our gathering on Sunday was a moment of gratitude. We came together to acknowledge the hand of the Almighty in guiding our party over the decades, in strengthening our movement through trials and triumphs, and in keeping us focused on the values of service and compassion. I personally draw great aspiration from the teachings of the Apostle Paul, who emphasized the importance of both worship and thanksgiving in Christian life. Sunday's service, therefore, was an opportunity to gather in reverence and gratitude for how far we have come as a party, as a people, and as a country. Over the next week, we'll continue to reflect on the journey of the party that has stood firmly with the people of Dominica for 7 decades, leading in moments of crisis, delivering in moments of need, and transforming lives through people-centered policies and bold leadership. The DLP was born out of the struggles and aspirations of the working people of Dominica, led by social activist Phyllis Shand Olfrey and trade unionist E.C. Loblack, to whom we pay great and sincere homage. It was a movement that laid the foundations for modern education and healthcare, that invested in housing, agriculture, and the empowerment of ordinary Dominicans. This 70th anniversary is a celebration of that proud legacy. And so, on Sunday, we will gather in the community of Jubla for a major rally under the theme Labor at 70, rooted in peace, built on stability, and driven by progress. I invite all Dominicans, supporters, well-wishers, and even those still undecided, and those who have never supported this party, to join us. Come and hear from your leaders. Come and share in the vision of a party that continues to work every day to lift families, strengthen communities, and build a better, more prosperous Dominica. As leader of the Dominican Labour Party and as Prime Minister of this country, I assure you, we are not relenting in our efforts. We remain fully committed to completing the work we have started, delivering on our promises, and pushing forward with the transformation of Dominica. In fact, you have seen this commitment in action over the past week. We met with representatives of the United States government and reaffirmed our shared commitment to strengthening border controls and enhancing national security through collaboration and capacity building. We also saw the handover of 12 fishing boats to local fishers, valued at over $640,000, providing them with the tools they need to improve their livelihoods and contribute to food security and economic development. The Ministry of Housing launched the Homeowners Awareness Manual, a practical guide designed to empower citizens with the knowledge to retrofit their homes, especially their roofs, and improve the safety and resilience during natural disasters. And just recently, the Ministry of Housing met with representatives of the MMCE and was assured that the new homes under construction will be completed in the coming weeks. The road infrastructure is being finalized and finishing touches are being applied. The Ministry of Housing shall hand over those homes during the summer of 2025. And I believe Scott said, well, it's now, I think. So I think Scott said we'll get the keys today or tomorrow. It's 21 homes in Scott said, lifting 21 families up. 21 families will be safer in their homes, in resident homes. And I know I know all of them personally, but there are some who really touch the core of our hearts because of their circumstance. And these people will never be able to build a home on their own, never. And that's why we're so committed to ensuring that we provide these safe spaces for the people. And the Ministry of Agriculture signed contracts totaling over $5.5 million of direct investments in agriculture, which will benefit farmers and enhance our ability to feed ourselves and assure us of food security. And this is one of the direct actions that we're taking to mitigate against inflation by growing more of what we eat. This is why we're spending over $7 million in the abattoir to modernize it and to bring in new equipment. This is why we're spending another $7 million on a citrus certification facility to modernize it, to ensure that we can grow more what we eat and help cushion the impact on imported inflation on the citizens of Dominica. And so all of these actions reflect the ongoing work of your government. We are purposeful, focused on results, and committed to the people. I want to, before I end, I want to specifically recognize the Honorable Charles, the Member of Parliament for the Margaret constituency, who is present here this morning. Thank you very much for your courtesy of listening to me.
Thank you, Prime Minister, for these comprehensive remarks. We could very well end here, but I will invite the members of the media to pose their questions to, I see Curtis and Carla in consultation. Are you guys ready? Okay.
Good morning, Prime Minister, and everyone here this morning. My first question is on the anniversary of the Dominican Labour Party's 70th anniversary. As you observe your 70th anniversary this year, has the time come for constitutional reform? And if so, what areas would a Dominican Labour Party administration pursue as you look at constitutional reform? I covered a march and an event of the Rastafarian community yesterday to do with Africa Day. And the question of reparations came up at that event yesterday. What is Dominica's position on reparation and the CARICOM position on reparation? And Prime Minister, my final question in this round has to do with Clear Harbor. So there has been developments about Clear Harbor in the last few weeks. Can you bring us up to date on how many people have been affected and what is government's position as we look at Clear Harbor? I will come back a little stronger in the second round, but I'll make way for Carlisle John Baptist in a little while.
Thank you. As you know, we have made let's say the government made a public statement that after we would have set aside electoral reform, the other big ticket item the country should pursue is constitutional reform. In a couple of years' time, we'll be 50 years. That's correct? 50 years as a country. And at every point in life, every milestone you reach in life, you'll have to do some introspection and reflections. The world has changed dramatically since 1978. There are issues which we are confronting now which were not present back then. And so life has evolved and life is evolving. And it's our view that we should look at constitutional reform. Now, it is not for me as Prime Minister to preempt the engagement of the people by saying, well, this is there's so many things that we want to change, etc., etc. I think it will have to be a conversation that we'll need to have as a country. What we're suggesting as a government is that there have been two review proposed documents on constitutional reform. One by Justice Telford Georges, may his soul rest in peace. And I think there was a second one done by Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, also reviewing the Telford Georges report. So I think we have two documents that we can start with so that we can discuss those two documents, because some of the things that are captured in Telford Georges report and this Dr. Nicholas Liverpool report, I believe, in my personal view, are still relevant today for consideration. But it's not for me to say, well, this is what should go, this is what should not go. I think it's for us to have town hall meetings and consultations across the country and let every single Dominican have the opportunity to share his views or his perspective on what he believes the Constitution should say and the new Constitution and so forth. So I'm hoping that we can start this process in earnest. And then we'll see where it takes us and so on. Mindful that in 2028, that we will 50 years, and I think it's an important time for us to be able to be in a position to see where we are insofar as the Constitution is concerned and what changes need to be made. In respect to reparations, as you know, we have a National Reparations Committee that is chaired by Dr. Dublin and has representatives from across the society. Likewise, there's also a CARICOM Reparations Committee, and both the national and the CARICOM committees have been engaging. You are aware, as all of us are, that there has been pushback from the former colonial masters in respect to their obligation to us as persons who have been impacted. But like other groups in the world who have been recognized for atrocities inflicted on them, I do not see why is it that there is a reason why Black people and indigenous people are not given that same consideration. Now, the notion that the former colonial masters are saying, well, it is not me, it is my forebears, but you are the inheritors of the assets and the wealth. So give it up. If it's not you, then why are you benefiting from it today? Give it up. Let's auction it, and you give it back to the people who you took it from. So we can start with this position. So this is not. I don't think it is a confrontation we're having. I think it is if we're talking about injustice and the need for us to compensate people for the injustice is meted out to them. I think reparation is an important one. So we certainly join the Rastafarian community in Dominica, and so their views reflect the CARICOM's position and also our national position. Okay, the issue of Clare Harbour, as you know, Clare Harbour has been a major employer in Dominica since 2004, and they have been really true partners in our quest towards the creation of sustainable jobs and opportunities for young people. Every so often, such entities go through a process. So they have clients. Sometimes the clients is for a 3-year period or a 5-year period. And at the end of those periods, then there's some consideration. Sometimes they roll it over, as they have done many times. But you have a challenge now in the era of AI, and this is something that we in Dominica must start speaking about. So there are companies now who are moving now to an AI solution, which is a cheaper solution to them. And so that's one of the reasons why we have lost many clients. And the challenge we had in Dominica, why it is so impactful on us at the Clare Harbour, is that we sort of had gotten over the years preferential treatment by Clare Harbour by giving us the bigger clients. So you'll have one client employing 200 people or 100 people at one go. So if you have a client that's employing 200 people for you and they pull out, then you can understand the dramatic impact on this. So what is happening now with Clare Harbour is that they are in discussion with 2 potential clients. And we believe that if they're able to conclude, because so far they're saying to me it looks promising, but we have to wait for the conclusion. So, but if they're able to successfully conclude negotiations with these 2 clients, then the majority of people who were sent home would be re-engaged. And so we look forward to that, and we're providing Clare Harbour all necessary support. I'm in direct contact with the president of Clare Harbour on these matters, and we are on standby to provide whatever support. If it means I have to travel to the United States to meet potential clients, I've offered that to them, and so we're hoping that we can make some movements in this, and we'll look forward to that. So I think these are your questions.
Child News. Very soon it will be the end of the financial year in Dominica, and your finance minister will be delivering the 2025-2026 national budget. Have your cabinet started reviewing what is likely going to be part of the national budget? That's question number 1. Question number 2, there are many complaints from people who are of the view that, quote, upward mobility is a major issue presently, with a number of retired persons given contracts to continue in the public service. Why is that so, and what do you intend to do to have persons who are retired move on so others can move up the ladder? And the other question is, the crisis in Haiti continues to be troubling. Can you give us an update as to the plans of CARICOM to assist Haiti as that country grapples to have peace, law, and order in that country? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, we come to the end of the financial year. The Ministry of Finance and Cabinet will engage in consultations with various entities, as we've done over the years. We've already started receiving proposals from various private sector entities. As you know, we're in negotiations with the union, so there are some things that come out of those negotiations that will all be placed on the table for consideration, inclusion of the budget. But I will not want to preempt the Minister of Finance, and so I will not necessarily tell you some of the specifics in there. But just to say that we will continue on our mission to laying down some very crucial and transformational projects in the country. So we'll continue to provide the financing for these projects because we believe that the international airport, the marina, geothermal completion, some of the major infrastructural works, the cruise village that we're speaking to, a private investor who will come in with his own money to invest in this. Our continued support to construction of additional hotel rooms. Airbnb or private guest house rental is a major source of additional income for many Dominicans. So we'll be speaking to that in the budget and providing some support and guidance on this. So there are a number of important things. I think we continue to lay the foundation and the sidewalls for a more prosperous Dominica. A Dominica that will give our people greater hope, because the reality is, Caroline, and even when people talk about opportunities, you're going to create more opportunities if you can increase your revenue generation. And to increase your revenue generation in Dominica, you're going to need to have more people coming into Dominica. You understand? And this is why we believe that the international airport, because when you look around us, the difference between us and the others is that they have an international airport. So they can go out with the ability to negotiate with airlines to come in from Europe and come in from other parts and to provide the necessary support for these things. We have a limitation. Yes, we have the direct flights from United States, but a 777 cannot land at Douglas Charles. We have to wait for the airport. And so we're going to need to have more people come in to consume what we're producing, consume more agricultural produce. All the boats that we're giving to the fishermen, we're going to catch more fish. We need to have people who can consume those fish. And the small business persons who are doing various confectionaries and so forth, the tour operators, the hotels, the guest houses, the Airbnbs, the small village shops. All of this, for them to do more business, you're going to have more people coming in. Understand? And so this is why we are focusing so heavily on those important projects. You look at Portsmouth or you look at Newtown, on any given day, there's a significant number of yachts out there, but we do not have the facilities to take advantage of the opportunities there in terms of the onshore support services that we can provide to those cruise ships. So we're not even scratching the surface of the benefits there, and so this is why we're keen on transforming the swamp. We get criticism for it, but transforming the swamp on the dome site at in Portsmouth, and eliminating the sandflies and so forth, and bringing development for the people. Because, but doing so with clear respect for the environment. Very, very careful with how we go about doing it and so on. So we're not indifferent to the environment. There's no prime minister that has spoken about the environment and cleanliness and beautification more than myself, and I do so in practice and not in words. You understand? So we understand those things. So these are the kind of things that we're going to be doing, and we continue to do that are important, and I'm hoping that the Minister of Finance will articulate some of those things and others in his budget statement. Okay, the issue of upward mobility and people who are brought back on contracts, I agree with that. What I have suggested, and we're doing some of that, is that if you need a skill of somebody who has retired, then you should not place a person on an established position, so that you allow for, except in a special circumstance, if you have a particular position and there's only one position you have in that which is not affecting any upward mobility, it's fine. But where it's going to affect people who've been waiting, because if you have somebody who is going to be filling a position, you have several people acting, it creates a problem. So, and in the public service management bill, you also be addressing those issues. Even on secondment, people write to the cabinet and say, I got a job in the private sector, I get a job overseas, and you want them to benefit from this, and you allow them to be seconded outside of the public service. But when a person is seconded outside the public service, that position remains filled. And so you may have somebody acting for 3, 4, 5 years, or the person on secondment. This is why we have started to curtail the number of years that someone can be seconded outside of his established position. Because it's not fair to persons who are waiting. And you have also people on study leave. Somebody gets study leave for 4 years, 3 years. But that person is an appointed public officer, established. And so there are different considerations, not only people on contracts, but is also people who on secondment and people who on study leave. And the people who ask for special leave. People who get the green card, I believe, and they want to see how America going. And so they don't want to retire or resign one time. So they go over to see how things turn in for them. And they go and they spend a year on it and they take leave without pay. And so those things that we're trying to ensure that we can, while we do not want to cut them off completely, you understand what I'm saying? Because we have to be practical and pragmatic in all what we do. But we're also mindful that it's creating a problem. So this is why I always make a joke that when you retire, and then all your staff members come and they have cake and they have champagne and so on, they're not happy. They're not happy that you retire. They're happy that your position comes vacant because they've been waiting for that. And somebody waiting in the slips for 2-3 years because they counting how much time you have. And once you get to your retirement time, before you get to 60 years, they write you one time. And so I understand the unnerving situation that many people are placed with. So, but we're trying to find a way, both legally and by policy, on how we can overcome those challenges. Okay, and the issue of Haiti is a serious problem that we continue to work, continue to help. As I said yesterday at the church service, we can't have Haiti fatigue. We have a duty and obligation to Haiti. But if I were to express my one personal point on Haiti, I had suggested, and there are many who supported that position, but it doesn't carry through, that we should have had a conversation with the gangs in Haiti. We should have had a conversation in Haiti. The gangs in Haiti are too crucial a player for you to not engage them. And if you do not engage people, then you leave them to their own devices. Sanctions are not going to change the attitude of any gang leader or gang member in Haiti. You understand what I'm saying? I believe, and I went ahead, because I was chairman of CARICOM then, I went ahead and I spoke to Norway, because Norway had played a very crucial role in facilitating discussions and negotiations between the government of Colombia and FARC. Now, they end up, FARC was a terrorist group, and you have now people who are part of FARC in parliament, in Congress, in part of the government in Colombia. And so I understand people do not want to engage gangs and so on, but they're part of the society. We do not hate them, we hate their behavior and their actions. And how do we get them to curtail or to change their behavior and actions? And to leave these guys to their own devices and sending drones to try to kill them and so on, all you're going to have is get the situation worse. And the gangs are a crucial part of it. Now, I am not a Haitian, I'm not part of the Haitian government. I can only suggest, you understand what I'm saying? But if there's a problem in society, we have to talk. You had the president, the current president of Syria, he had a $10 million bounty in his head a few months ago. And a few weeks ago, he made the president of the United States. You understand what I'm saying? So let us understand that unless we have a discussion with the gangs in there. The gangs are you leave them to the devices, they become their own government in the ghettos, they provide to people that the state cannot provide because the state cannot come into the services. So what do you have? You have a de facto government. Law and order can be maintained. So, and I still believe it's not too late. We cannot set aside anybody in terms of finding a solution for peace. Because without peace in Haiti, without law and order in Haiti, there is no future for Haiti. And one of the crucial ways of bringing in this issue of the thing. Now, if after consultations with the guys, discussions with guys, they want to behave, then you go after them. You eliminate them. Simple as that. But you give them opportunity to change their ways. Understand? And so this is my personal view on the Haitian situation. This is not a CARICOM position on the matter. So this is just my personal view on the city. And I don't, I don't impose my views on people. I share my views, and so forth. But there was, and the Norwegian government was prepared to provide the resources and the framework for this and to facilitate the discuss. And I was prepared myself. I told them to go to Haiti and be part of the conversations with the gangs. You understand what I'm saying? So But this is where we are. Yeah.
That have been discussed this month, May. Have you all made any progress on reform for local government system in Dominica?
We'll give you a more comprehensive response on this, but she's not there today. But I'll make an arrangement for that. And I mean, the process of local government reform is still on the agenda. I know there were some discussions. I know there were some consultations. I have not seen the report coming out of those consultations, so I cannot speak to any specifics in respect to the consultation which was held.
You said that lighting for Windsor Park would begin or would be installed by September of this year. Is everything on course for that project at Windsor Park? Right. The other question is, any updates on the track and field facility for Point Round and the sports facility for High Street? And is there any update on the Arab House of Culture, which should have been open based on information, should have been open by now? Into another question. Have you considered a cabinet reshuffle in recent time?
So the issue of lights in Windsor Park, as I said, contract was signed. I was hoping that there would have been a more public. I'm signing a significant contract, I guess, should have been done in somebody's private office. There should be greater transparency with this, but it's not too late to I think the Ministry of Sports and the Minister of Sports is here. We should have some press briefing and to share the country the various components of the lighting, the scheduling of the lighting. My clear mandate to the Ministry of Sports and the National Lottery is that I want the lights in place in September. You understand? So they have to do everything to get this going. Because absolutely the lights must be in place for the festival and for independence celebration. And there should be no excuse for that. We have to get it going. I believe an advance may have been paid to the supplier as per the contract. So it's a matter now to ship those components in there, and there's some local infrastructure work on site which needs to be done. I'm hoping that they can do these things. The problem I have, part of the problem I have in Dominica, and I'll share some of my concerns that I have as Prime Minister, maybe on Sunday, that there has to be a higher level of productivity and diligence in the country. This idea of people washing their tools at 3 o'clock and at 7 o'clock is still broad daylight. We have to change that. We have to change this. And every time there's a fete in Dominica, we don't see people until 3-4 days after the fete is over. And so, I mean, even in Clare Harbour, I've had to go to Clare Harbour many times to talk to the staff about the diligence. And now that we've lost it, it becomes a problem. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be more diligent in the country. And we can't leave things for tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own challenges, as the Bible tells us. So do what we have to do today. And then when tomorrow comes, we'll deal with tomorrow's challenges. But if we keep pushing things back for tomorrow, then tomorrow will become overwhelming. And so we have to be a little more diligent and professional in what we do in the country, so that we can reap the benefits in a quicker time. So the Minister of Sports is there, and I'm sure he will take note of those points. Yeah. The track and field, we're making progress. As you know, we acquired the land at a point wrong. This is the only site we could find with the type of soil. We're supposed to do some soil testing. That was done already. What's the next step? Was the clearing this week. So they have sent a contract for the clearing. So you guys need to call the press and tell the press all these things, man. Oscar George, man, come on, man. Just, and so that the people, you guys keep anything a secret, man. You sign a contract for 14 or 19 or some $1 million a secret. You do the soil testing is a secret. You're gonna clear the land next week is a secret. I mean, we have a press conference on site in Point Trung. You can show them the exact location. If you invite me, I'll come. All right, so he'll have a press briefing next week on that, and on all of his wonderful things happening on sports, and all of his sports officers are going to be appointed. And so so there's a lot of things happening in this country there. Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't know that. I mean, Kalai people don't know that. I mean, if you don't know that, nobody knows the Kalai. The issue of High Street, we have to make some funds available, and we'll do so in the course of the next few days. There it's an important facility that the Member of Parliament for Roseau Central was able to mobilize funds outside the government. So the government hasn't spent money on this project yet. These are funds coming from two sources that the Member of Parliament was able to receive, and she's done some work there. Well, part of the challenge we have is that they went ahead and they gave Public Works Corporation to do the surfacing of the court. I mean, this will just take asphalt and just pour anything as if all is. I mean, come on, man. You do not know that a tennis court or has to be smooth. I mean, you do think who's on your patch in the roads in Dominica, and you get your big check after. I mean, come on. So now this thing has to be ripped off and redone, and then they probably get blows for it, and nobody come and defend and speak the truth. One day I'm gonna have a press conference to talk about the things I'm pissed off with now, because I am getting too much blows for things that I have put in place that are not being done in accordance to what I put in place and the resources that we put in place. And everybody's scared. And people have to be diligent on these things. And so I think one day I will entitle "What's Scared Vex About?" You know, if you study African history, Thomas Sankara, who was the military ruler of Burkina Faso, all of his engagements were done on live television. So he would speak to all public officers, all ministers, all ambassadors live on all issues. So maybe I've been telling him that for many years, even before Touare came into office. You know, that's maybe I should do that instead, so people know. But we have to be a little more diligent on this. And so some funds were made available to the high street stuff, and so we can enhance the facilities there, and the folks can have access to this and exercise, and there are many other things that are going to be happening there. Our Records of Culture, obviously, they have all of the resources for this. I'm not sure what is happening in respect to putting these things in place, but again, the press conference next week, that they will give you a full briefing on these things. Okay. Cabinet reshuffle. Well, you just never know. Many things can happen. There's always a possibility. You know, after a couple of years, you may have a change of focus or priorities as a government, and you will have to shift things around. So, yes, quite possibly there will be a cabinet reshuffle, so that we can enhance our delivery of services to our people. Because as a government, you cannot be indifferent to the complaints of the public, because you're doing work on their behalf. And as you know, I have my ears on the ground every single day. And so I am not unaware of the complaints of the people of Dominica. And as you know, I always responded on those issues. So certainly the government has to come to a point where it has to reassess its priorities and the resources that it has at its disposal, and juxtapose them against what the people are saying. Because we are working on people's behalf, not on our behalf. You understand? And to work on people's behalf, you must know what they want and how they want it. And if you can't do it how you're supposed to do it, then you have to explain to them why. It may be a resource issue, it may be a technical issue, or we have to keep informing the public. And let the public know we have to take them along with us. We cannot be ahead of the public or behind them. They have to be side by side with us, because we have to work together. And so it's something I take very, very seriously as Prime Minister and the leader of the Labour Party. And so you'll be informed when that's happening. But there'll be some changes we made. Well, the short answer to this is yes, but as to the timing, I do not know. It's a thing I always have to give reflection to and clear thought to, and because ultimately the buck stops for me. But certainly there'll be some changes made. Some might be dramatic, some maybe not.
Let me first say, and I'll quote Che Guevara, who said that at the risk of seeming ridiculous, that a true revolutionary is guided by the great feelings of love. And you to me embodies, or you represent that saying. We look at Burkina Faso, and you mentioned that a while ago, and that the work done by the leader there, Ibrahim Traore, and then you're saying that the developmental projects that you have in Dominica shadows or looks similar to that happening in Burkina Faso. Do you think that there's need for diplomatic relations with OCS, between OCS or Dominica with Burkina Faso? And that's one. Second, you have led the charge, the clarion charge, to reduce NCDs in Dominica. Are you satisfied with the work that has been done by the Ministry of Health so far? And what strategies would you like to see as we move forward in reducing this number of NCDs, the pressures, the diabetes state data in Dominica? What do you think?
In respect to some of the projects and programs that I see people talking about taking place in Burkina Faso, whether it's in housing or support to farmers or addressing access to education, and I see some people glorifying it, but some people glorifying it, people criticize me for it. You understand what I'm saying? Any government that has a people-centered approach to governance will always find itself implementing those programs. Housing to people, access to education, access to healthcare, irrespective of who you are. You understand? And ensuring that you can lift people from the ground up, that there's no glass ceiling. You understand? And ensuring that the resources of the state is shared among the people. And to ensure that it is done in an equitable manner as far as practically possible. And where there are gaps that you feel you will move towards addressing those gaps and those deficiencies. This is what Labour Party has been about. And this is why, notwithstanding the criticism, not even within my own party sometimes, the people who believe that we should move away from those things. But you cannot move away from these things that have a direct impact on the way of life of the people. And if you go to a home, to a community, and you see a senior citizen or family living in a dilapidated condition, not because they're not nice to themselves, it's because they can't afford it. And if they cannot afford it, what do? Do you tell them pray to God? Yes, they may be praying, and you might just be answered that God is sent to them. And if you fail, then what are you going to say to God when He comes to judge the living and the dead? So this is why I say we don't have a political responsibility to lifting people up. We have a biblical and Christian duty to do this. And so our commitment is not motivated by political consideration. It is motivated by a very sustained philosophy of the Labour Party. Because if you look at Labour Party all over our time, whether it's in Shan Alfrey time, E.O. Libler time, Patrick John time, Rose Douglas, Mike Douglas, and so on, we all of us espoused a program of social reform and social development, lifting people up, and we have done so in practical ways. So you would see Patrick John building homes in Bathurst and Canefield, helping farmers, and E.O. Libler, and lifting people up. So the only times that you have seen those things, because that's the founding principle of the Labour Party. And this is also etched in our minds, in our spirit, in our psyche, from a biblical standpoint in the book of Matthew. You understand? And so it's costly, very costly. And so any government who wants to balance your books, you can just cut those things off and you have a surplus, But a government is not in place only to balance its books. It must also help people balance their lives. And this is why we always say that we are responsive but responsible. So we don't take reckless decisions in the pursuit of helping people. You understand? Because if you take reckless decisions, then it's going to impact the system, and you cannot help the people the way that you can help them. And so these programs are important. They help give people a decent way of life. And even the NEP that people criticize, I don't think people understand and appreciate the impact this has had on the poverty levels in Dominica and the sense of dignity and pride and the independence that you've given to so many women across Dominica in particular. The men too, but more so women are always the less of the vessel in terms of injustice. And so these things, I mean, you drive across the community and the sense of pride that they take in keeping the communities clean and be able to provide for their children, for themselves, for a sense of independence. I mean, unfortunately, you don't have social scientists in Dominica who do research, but I challenge anybody to do some research on this and look at the impact on people's lives. And so while the NEP is a transition thing, it's been in transit. That when you move on, and several of them have moved on to get permanent employment, whether in the private sector, the public sector, and so forth. But there are some aspects of the NEP that will be needed until Thy Kingdom come. You always need to keep the community clean. You always need to take care of those who can't take care of themselves by providing caregivers to them. So these things will never go away by putting mentors in schools so that they can provide additional support to children who might be slow learners with their homework, with their research. These are the things that are impacting. And you have a small business owner who just started and you want to give them some help so that they can, sustain their investment and start making a profit and graduate out of the program. You give them some support. And so these programs and projects have been carefully thought of. This is part of a strategy, because development is not all about infrastructure, it's about human aspect of development. So you can have all of the infrastructure, if people are not able to take advantage of it, then so no benefit. So you have to make sure that both can be attended to at the same time. You understand? And so what is happening in Burkina Faso and even some of the Caribbean countries, I mean, we applaud them because these are people-centered policies and programs. And in Dominica, we just have to be more positive and constructive and be more appreciative. NCDs is not only NCDs has to be, the fight against NCDs has to be a personal responsibility, a family responsibility, a community responsibility, a business community responsibility. It can't be the Ministry of Health alone. And I think that, I'm not saying that to say that there are some things that we are not doing, that we should be doing. I believe that there needs to be more public education. The education must be more visible and more apparent, and because this is an existential threat to us. This issue of CNCDs is costing families, it's costing the society. If you have to do a check of the amount of sick leave people take and monetize that, it's a significant part of your GDP. Yeah? You understand? And that is one thing. But I think we have to encourage people to take care of themselves, and each of us must play a part in the public education. But because no matter what the government and the mutual may say or do, then you'll have a problem. But what we find ourselves doing, the government, is that we spend more money on medication because we have to treat people, and we have to get more expensive medication because of the acuteness of the NCD on people. And so all we're doing is just spending money. But I think that we can reverse that by pushing the wellness part and getting people to take care of themselves, exercise, eat right. So in my case personally, as you know, I always speak about this matter. Anyway, I speak about this in the Caribbean. Anyway, I speak about this matter. And so I find myself becoming an activist. And I have taken this activism to another level, where I have banned the consumption of sugar or any added sugar except from fruits. I don't take this, and dairy products and stuff like this. So I don't take any sugar whatsoever. And this is why I'm looking so slim and trim. You understand? And they say younger too. I don't know, but so you understand? But I can walk from Rosa to Vegas and fine. Easy. Huh? I'll call you when I come back. I suspect by the time you get to Master, if you don't, you can't lie. All right, but seriously, we have to. It has to be a national effort to crack this thing down. And we're seeing more and more younger people having high blood pressure and diabetes. And if somebody at 10 and 12 and 13 getting diabetes and hypertension, it tells you what the person's life will be like. And the reality is many people are walking the streets in Dominica not knowing that they have it. And which is by the time you get to know it, they have a stroke. They're on a bed. You understand? And so, and those of us who are in the food business have to be mindful of our contribution to that. We just put in too much sugar in the juice. Too much sugar in the juice. And this thing of putting sugar in bakes and sugar in red beans and so on. You put your red beans to soak overnight, you pressure cook the thing. You pressure cook the beans and it gets soft. You quiver the beans. But you can't do quiver beans by putting sugar, brown sugar, anything. I mean, I understand this thing. I mean, and if you're making bakes, there's a difference between bakes and donuts. Donuts is sweet, bakes is also sweet. But you can't make bakes and you donut to give me myself, eating the thing, I think that thing's sweet, man. And you have sugar in the bakes. So we have to watch those things. You understand? And we are adding sugar in the coconut water that we're selling on the side of the road. And, I mean, why should we add sugar to coconut water? If you want the thing to be sweet, you get some mature ones and some young ones and you mix it. You know what I'm saying? So you get a little sugar there. So, but you can't sit at your home, buy some brown sugar and you add some water from the Wasco. And you're selling this thing to people. Now, somebody who is diabetic, who feel like bottle coconut good for them, they tongue, they're hot and so on. They drink coconut water, they get a natural sugar from it. Not realizing that their diabetes level elevated. And the person fall in tongue, they're in a coma. You know what I'm saying? Because they drink that whole bottle of coconut water there. Half of it is sugar. And so these are some of the things. I think we need to have greater conversation about these things because this is a major, major threat. I have been sounding the alarm for the last 15 or so years. And it's getting worse. It's getting seriously worse. Okay, but thank you for the questions. Yes, anybody else? Sorry.
We're on Kyrie FM. My first question is, are there any updates or negotiations between Dominica and the United Kingdom on visa-free access? And 2, would the government of Dominica ever consider a transport board system, something similar to the one in Barbados, where there are special rates for senior citizens and to assist with not just the general public, but essential workers as well? Like, for example, nurses, security officers, where it passes at certain time frames.
The negotiations with the UK, we continue to have discussions. There are no specific updates on that matter, but it's something that remains a priority for us. So we continue to have discussions in them on this. The issue of the transport board, I mean, as I understand in Barbados, the government owns the buses and they employ people and so forth. But that they have had a history of that. You understand? So this is a legacy program in Barbados. Because here in Dominica you have so many of the small bus owners running the roads of Dominica, it might be a difficult thing for the government to come in to displace them. For example, even the transportation of school children. As you know, we had purchased some buses and so on. Eventually, as those buses got old, we set them aside, and we're using most of the buses, maybe 99% of the buses we're using are privately owned buses, and so forth. So I'm not sure this is something that we would be prepared to look at, because it would have a negative impact on so many of the people who rely on this for their living. And if you were to bring in a rebate, it's going to be difficult to have a system for you where you can have a rebate, because most of the bus drivers can't give you a receipt. They won't be able to give a receipt or anything like that you can present and make a claim for a rebate and so forth. So while I understand the intention of your question, I understand, I think we have to look at the mechanics of achieving that intention, and to see whether it's something that the country would want to consider. I'm just raising some immediate issues that become in the way or advancing that intention that you have. There, so this is where we are. Yeah.
Trying to get some updates as it relates to the expected timeline for the release of the most recent census. Many stakeholders are eagerly awaiting this important data. Also, we're trying to find out also an update and plans for as the government in terms of addressing the African snail, which is posing a serious problem to farmers in Dominica. And when do we expect to have a confirmation of a police chief in Dominica? And my final one before I hand over to my good friend to my left, the issue of garbage continues to be a major problem. Yes, I understand that we receive some garbage trucks, but the rats are creating havoc and garbage all over the place, and rats and rats and rats. And leptospirosis is becoming a major issue. What can you please address us in that, please?
The census, I believe that there were issues there with the collection of data, and I believe that I'm looking to the Minister of Finance to guide me on this. I believe that there's some discussion as to how do you relaunch it. Been done. So I know the discussion to relaunch it because there were some issues in terms of the collection of data at the time. So that was suspended. So I think that they are looking at a new approach towards it, because the census is important. You understand? It's a very important piece of statistical data that's required, and to have the one that we have updated. But I believe that they will speak to that at some point in details of this. Okay, the African snails, giant snails, is a challenge. I have seen them myself, and this is part of the